Side by side, I can feel it, it burns like fire. Worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side, but that's what this mandates. Be it might, and unlikely allegiance, we will fight because that's the best defense. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find the glorious stand. Glorious stand. Our goal, our mission is clear, as we ride against a dark empire. By my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this raging fire. Listen, be the savagery mindset. Not today, we'll let loose and find it. Brutal will define our reaction. Rip out the throat of each one in their faction. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find the glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Glorious. The angels have fallen, my allies are beaten and broken down. I shed not a tear. After all, this is why we are here. A war we were not supposed to win. If I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that's tempting my spine. Go! You must set me a fool. I stand on the skeletons of every goal. But if I'm to die, well, this very night, we'll kill every demon that stands in us. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find the glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Make them remember glorious death. Glorious
Yo, what up, everybody? Hope y'all doing well. This has been a massive day. We got plenty of time to still talk about the books and everything, and I promise you we will. You can go to Rippaverse.com and grab everything. But today we're really going to be highlighting the song and really talking about the music, because it's a project that was one of the, I'll just go ahead and say it, to me, it's my favorite collaboration to do for various reasons that we will talk about, man. But man, I am having a blast, and I love that you all are having a blast as well, because this is what it's all about. But we'll talk about, we'll have plenty of time to talk about everything. But of course, I got to introduce the right hand, who really facilitated a lot regarding this track. My man's Dan Vasc. First song that you dropped on your channel in like a year.
Yeah.
Right. So many people are like messaging me saying like, "Hey man, thanks for getting this guy back at it." I'm like, "Hey, that's not on me. That's not on me. That's not on me." But damn, man, what's up, dog?
Man, I'm just so happy that there's demand for the shit that we do, because I don't know, a lot of people get mad on social media and on my comments when they see other people like asking me for more stuff. It's like, why get mad, man? There's demand. It's better it's better to leave people wanting more than wanting less.
Yep.
So
Facts.
But yeah,
Facts.
man, how long has it been we've been talking about this? You first approached me with this idea before
that is true.
Before Isom was about to release, you had finished it.
Yep.
And you showed me those final panels.
Yep.
With Norfrica. And yeah, back when you were poor.
Yeah. Before the $1 million. Yeah. No, he's not joking. It's funny because I created the concept of the superhero like metal band or with Takhari and Validan, and I was like, it's funny, like I was creating it, even if it was more consciously, like with Dan in mind, right? Like, because I'm like, I had no idea that obviously you were going to accept it, but I'm thinking about like, okay, I'm a metal guy, I know you're a metal guy.
Mario Kart back then. That's
back
how
then,
we
right?
met.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're both metal guys, and not just metal guys. Like we trend towards the same, like, but definitely us being big Manowar guys, we trend towards the same, like, kind, though. Yeah, I tend to I've performed different types, I've done the core side of it, I've done the just straight raw heavy metal side of it.
I'm stuck in the past.
Right.
You do the modern metal stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So this was a no-brainer for me, because I'm like, well, obviously philosophically we're eye to eye. It's a hand in glove fit. And then obviously as more time progressed, people kept demanding it, basically, like, when do the metal brethren actually do a track together? And so I created this and I had no idea that you were going to want to do it, but I created them, and I'm like, man, it would be really cool if I could have you a part of it, because the whole concept was there were two vocalists, right, that were part of the band, right? I was like, yeah, sure, I can do some twists and turns and tricks and do all that stuff, but I wanted to get someone I knew that could like really handle, like with Validan being the main lead, someone that could just absolutely kill it. And I know you had no idea if you were going to be like, oh, I'm game to make something happen, but I'm glad you did, bro.
No, of course.
Like I said, the collaboration.
I was waiting for an excuse, any excuse.
Let's go.
Just to do some stuff together, anything.
Everybody asked for it. I wanted it, and like I said, I think this is going to be the first of many. Because I know so many people wanted this. And by the way, guys, we do have it pinned. You can buy the single. Let's get that out the way. I'll do the promo stuff first. Okay, so whether you know it or not, we have the potential to chart, not just on the Amazon charts, iTunes. I saw we were already on the iTunes chart this morning.
Wait, we are?
Yeah, we were. We were like 100 and something, but we're already there on the heavy metal. I did see that.
That was quick.
So you have that and the Amazon, which we know that we'll be on as days progress. But the big one, definitely if you're out of the U.S., is Billboard. We have a chance to actually chart on that. And not just chart, just considering the energy that's already behind it. Not just chart, but we have a chance to like actually make a statement and be pretty high up there on the digital songs. And that's with your help. Appreciate everybody. Yes, of course, you can get on Amazon, iTunes, but we're talking about actual sales, not streams, but actual buys, right? So you can get it from iTunes.
Streams don't count.
Right, exactly.
Unfortunately.
No, unfortunately, they don't. So just an actual buy. It's only $1, so go grab it. You can also get it directly from us, which we see those numbers pretty immediate. If you want to go to rippaverse.com/Norfrica, and it will take you to the glorious death. And I'll show it to you real quick how it looks.
Glorious. I was afraid the algorithms of social media and stuff.
I know, right?
Because of death.
Death, yeah.
But it's not happening.
Yes, it's going. Yeah. It's going well. All right, so let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Okay, there we go. So you'll see this. It'll take you to it. Unfortunately, for reporting reasons, you're not going to be able to. Unfortunately, not going to be able to like bundle this with some of the other stuff. That's more logistics than anything with Illuminate and Billboard. I don't want to give y'all the whole boring spiel. We had to put it here so reporting could go directly to, again, Illuminate/Billboard. So it could be eligible. So you'll see this. You can grab it directly there, immediate download. So go buy it. You can get it here, but if you want to get it on iTunes, buy it. Go grab it, Amazon, buy it, actually make a purchase because this has the chance to actually chart and make some noise, man, because what a statement that would be if we end up like something like crazy like top 5. Not saying that it's gonna happen, but it could. It very well could. And we're looking at the numbers. I'm seeing the numbers and they're crazy right now for this single. I know, Dan, you probably have some insight on that.
Yeah. Let me double check here. How's it going on YouTube Studio right now? Yeah, it's still 3rd place between my latest 10 videos.
That's crazy.
In my latest 10 videos, there were some bangers in
That's
there.
Crazy.
There was Christmas songs, Halloween, like Iron Maiden covers, and like covers perform much better than original songs. And for that to be on 3rd between 10 covers, it's amazing. It's amazing.
A big deal.
No, original songs don't perform like that.
They don't do that. Original songs
because
don't
of
do
you
that.
Guys.
So big shout out to everybody there. And that's just, I just want to let you know the magnitude. That's why I want to, Dan, to recite that because we both done a bunch of covers. The covers are always going to do better than the original works. It's just how it tends to go. But for original track, right?
For originals, we're not surfing anyone else's wave.
Yeah.
Like it all depends on how much eyeballs and attention we can gather by ourselves, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Thank you so much, guys.
Appreciate y'all, man. Like, I mean, it means a lot. So basically, today through Thursday, you want to get your purchase in for the digital single because that's how it's going to count. Those first week sales are. Look, if we can last on there, that'd be great, but you're always going to get your most sales in your first week. Doesn't matter what you drop, single, album, doesn't matter. It's just how it works. Yeah. So your best opportunity to chart is going to be on that first week. So please purchase it. I have it pinned. It's also in the description. Now, we have plenty of time to talk. It's like it's going to be, because we got vinyls and all sorts of cool stuff. This is going to be an 80-something day campaign. So we have plenty of time to talk the books and everything. But really for this first week, we're really prioritizing the single. But yeah, man, Dan, like I'll be completely open with you, and I wanted to wait until we live streamed to say this.
Oh shit.
But serious. So we talked about doing a track. You sent me some of your first like initial songs, right? And this is why
you were the one who sent me like
concept,
some song material, not only the concept, but you sent me actual lyrics. Which can I show the panel?
Yes, go ahead.
It's at the end, right? Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Some of y'all may have not picked up on this. The lyrics are directly in ISOM 1. That's the song that they're performing.
Those 2 panels plus this one. That little part, go. It's like, it's this whole couple pages. Eric sent me that, and initially your idea was for this to be the hook. Remember?
Yeah, yes, true. That's true.
I tried. I was like, Yeah, hook, let's try. But I thought it was kind of, it had its own structure with a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is already its own part. That's why we call C parts.
Right.
The C, like they're at the end of the song, and they sort of like add to the narrative in a way that it's bringing the song to a conclusion. And I thought this was more like that, like a C part. And then I said, "Hey Rippa, why don't we make this a C part?" And I think I have a hook for this. And then I showed you a demo, which was just it was just my voice, one voice, and MIDI guitars. There were fake guitars, like keyboard guitars and drums. That was what I sent you.
Yep. And I was like, we can do a whole lot with this. And again, I appreciate you doing the heavy lifting on that part, because it's like you kicked it though. Yeah. I came up with the, just for inspiration, we had that general concept there, but you came back with that, and I was like, wow, there's a whole lot that we can do with this, and we're going to have a lot of fun with. And I went into that studio, and big shout out to Corey. He was the engineer, went to San Antonio, same guy for you guys that are Backwards fans. Corey Brunneman, he's done so much of I think he's recorded every album, everything that we done, but maybe one song. I think Be Great was like the only song that no, I think he did that too, but he did I've recorded pretty much everything with him. So I went out there to San Antonio, and I was like, all right, we're going to lay this down. Writing, that's just what I do. So it's easy for me to like come up with lyrics and
all the parts that Rippa sang alone, he made himself without my help. He wrote those parts all by himself, and I already left the spaces intentionally.
And that's what I wanted to talk about, because I know I come from metal side when I was coming up in the game. So when I was a teenager, right? And like definitely like later teenager, so 18, 19. And I was doing all the covers and everything. So you had people that knew me from the hip hop side, and people knew me from screaming my head off, singing like random Aerosmith songs and shit on my YouTube, right? So they had metal folk, and this reminded me so much of some experience and collaborations that I had from the rap side. Reason being is because it's almost like it's a mini competition, right? Whether you know it or not.
It's a back and forth. Yeah.
I heard your stuff, and I was like, okay, I have to show out on this song. I have to show out on this song, because I can't have Dan just shit all over me on this song, because he absolutely kills it. So he brought out I hit a note in that song that I've never done, right? Without cheating, right? And what I mean
I was impressed by that when you sent me that. Oh shit, he's trying to do my stuff.
Yeah, I try to pull it Dan, right? So typically when I do like
he did great on that.
Typically when I do like when I sing like definitely the higher stuff.
Should have recorded some screams too.
Yeah. But it was like I tend to cheat. I'll run into a falsetto, or I go like way into my head voice, right? And I was like, I am going to fucking belt this. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna belt this. Like this is going to be, I'm gonna belt it. It's funny. My engineer, I was like, I first told him, I was like, I don't think I can hit it. And he was like, you could hit it. And so I did a couple takes, and I was like, and we nailed it. I was like, oh wow, that's I've never done that, and it was challenging. And that's why this is my favorite collaboration, not just because obviously the big part of it is collaborating with you and just where we're at, seeing eye to eye philosophically and musically, but also like it was challenging in that sense where it's like you have a very dynamic vocalist on this track. You got to come with it. You have to come with it. And it's funny, I went into it initially like, and I think we talked about this. I was like, I was gonna do more like straight grotto on the verse, right? And I was like, no, why don't I back up? I'm gonna do a little more melodic, and I'm actually gonna like do more of an aggressive singing.
That was great. Again, because a song is a story, a song is a narrative, and you incorporated that concept on your vocals perfectly. You started clean. You slowly started to introduce the screaming, and then at the end you were just like,
I was
it
going
was
off.
fantastic. You got completely right the intent of the song, because that happens in the instrumental as well, and on my vocals as well. So you followed on that perfectly.
Yeah. No, and again, it was because you set the tone there. That's why I'm like, dude, I remember leaving that studio with Corey, and I'm like, dude, I felt this was some of my best work doing this type of music, but also this collaboration is one of the more, like, not one of, to me, up to this point, no disrespect to everybody else, but this is my favorite. This would be my favorite collaboration, just because everything surrounding it, right? It's like, again, get to working with a dude that, again, we see eye to eye on everything. And then there's that element of like, we have this like original project, and you know, we have this cool in-universe band, right? That we're basically it's almost like a Gorillaz kind of situation where we're doing the voice of that. And that was a big thing that I was trying to do. Was like, my cadence is different from like a backwards track, because I was like more so thinking about it like, okay, I'm not performing as myself. I'm kind of performing as myself, but I'm not. So I try to.
That was completely different from your performances on Backwards, and it is a completely different song from Backwards. It's like, it's another style. Yes. It's more Backwards, like more modern and more brutal. This ours is brutal too, but it's more brutal in a sense of like Backwards like the Hulk.
Yeah,
and ours is and our song is like Thor.
Yeah,
they're both brutal, but they're like
different ways,
in completely different vibes.
Yeah, perfect. That's a perfect way to put it. And it's like, you know, I remember, you know, we talked about like, okay, we have this Norse inspiration, right? We have the African inspiration. I remember bringing that to you, like, how do we mix that? And I didn't know how we were going to pull that off. And like I said, you did a lot of heavy lifting on that general concept, because I was like, I can ride on whatever, right? So I can add the core elements to that. I can do that. That's not going to be a problem. I can find a place to put that. So that having that, and that was a great idea where you said, let's turn this in more to almost like a breakdown, right? That what was originally the hook, like going into this big like breakdown, right? So I was like, that's where I can take it back for all the guys that are definitely like Backwards fans that are like okay, they want to hear me yelling. Okay, cool. That part is right there. It's right there for you. But everything else, you know, we mix some of the like kind of Viking metal kind of this power, you know, influence. But it also has these different concepts there, and I love what you do with the drums. We were talking about the sort of African inspiration there as well. So I want you to. I know we talked about it before the stream started. Like, maybe we'll do another stream where we kind of go through kind of the actual project layout. But I would love for you to talk kind of about that part of it, because that was not an easy thing to do, Dan. Where it's like we know we had in our heads.
Yeah.
What kind of song this is going to sound and what genre Norfrica is, but to actually pull it off the way that we did here, that was special, man. So
this guys, this motherfucker came up with the biggest musical challenge, like Vikings and Africans. Like, what the fuck? This is something like, how I'm versed in Viking like style music and stuff, like it's something more, it's something closer to home for me. But African, how do I incorporate that? Africa is more like, every time you hear African music, it's either modern, like African American stuff, like hip hop and stuff,
right?
Or it's like something super tribal, like
like bongos and stuff,
and wind instruments, and it's like, let's just embrace that. Let's just embrace that. So in the first like 5 seconds of the song, we told you the whole story of Norfrica right there, because it starts with a Viking war horn, boom, then enters the African wind instrument, and I sampled those instruments from actual instruments, real, that were sampled from, like, I believe the African wind instrument is made from like the skull of a vulture or something like that.
Let's
it's
go.
super
That's
cool.
metal.
And it's like, yeah, hell yeah, man. Should I've found a vulture skull and just play that on the video?
Yeah.
But so first couple seconds of the song, the Viking horn, the African flute, and then enters the drums.
Yep.
And then the guitar, dun 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 dun, and it's like there's Norfrica.
Yeah,
That's
it is. Yep.
In 3
before
seconds.
we ever said anything. Right?
Yes, in 3 seconds, all you needed to know about what this project is. So I was very happy that we managed to do that and set such a strong brand, such a strong character for this project. And also then after that comes the concept of the song, because maybe the listener might see the title and think glorious death. Maybe this is a song about some sort of bitching of self-pity or like some emo shit, talking about death and stuff. But no, so here comes the orchestra telling you that even though the name of the song and the concept might seem pessimistic and gloomy, it's nothing like that. This is not about bitching about death. This is not about complaining about tragedy, but overcoming it.
Yeah.
And accepting, in a sense, that we're gonna go down swinging. We're gonna go down fucking swinging. And then on my Twitter post promoting the song, I shared the quote: "There are some defeats more triumphant than victories." And that's the vibe I got from those panels that you sent me. This is a song about someone going to their ends with a fucking smile.
Yeah. And
that's
and
what
again,
it is.
You captured that perfectly, man. And like I said, you set the tone there, like musically, obviously. Like that was I mean, you put that perfect before you ever hear a lyric uttered. You know what Norfrica's about, right? And I love that we have this unique sound there. It's funny. It's been cool because I love to keep up. Anytime we drop any music, I love to keep up with how people are trying to define it, right? Backwards, we dealt with this our whole careers, because it's like, what the fuck? What genre do you put these guys in, right? Because we're metal and we have all these other different elements. I know every now and then I might mix a R&B element in there or something like that. But it's like, we got that it's perfect there, like musically it comes out, it's power, like you see, like it's like, oh man, this is almost like oomph to it. And then your lyrics, like where you start, which of influence where I went with it, right, as well, like where I went with it, like the song,
that's
lyrics.
very hip-hop. Like you came up with something, I came back with you, and then you like
that's why I said, that's what I was talking about. Like the experience in making the song was very, very hip hop there. And that's what was really cool about this experience, because again, it brought the best out of me. Because I'm like, okay, I have to show out for a couple of different reasons. It's obviously Dan Vasc. Everybody knows he's amazing. And also, like, we're both kind of in that spot where we hadn't dropped music in a minute, right? I know we just returned. Backwards just came back with our two singles, but there was a gap, right, between that and definitely like that first album, that 2017 album that we had put out. So people were waiting for music. So I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna give them something, and we've been cooking this up, like it needs to be something that we both felt good about. And what I loved about the process, right? Not just, we laid down the lyrics, but how there was this, like the hook, that hook, man, I remember hearing
was the first thing I did.
That hook, I was like, oh man, this is so good. And then we did all the layers, right, obviously on it to make it really like this orchestra, like it felt just like a choir, right? Like
that was one of the last things. We
so you got the first thing, first thing and the last thing, right, to bring the song together. The hook's obviously that my favorite part of it, especially that last one where the we go up an octave, and it's just so energetic. And I want to give a big shout out to, obviously Dan mixed it, but the masters on this, and we've talked about this to nerd out
Tony
about
Lindgren,
this.
shout out.
Big shout out, bro, because
amazing.
You can hear all of our layers.
Yeah, no, and the individual orchestra instruments as well. And there's a bunch of stuff. I crammed a bunch of stuff in there. There's like choirs. There's my choirs. There's Eric's voice, one octave lower. There's my main voice high. There's a string pad also reinforcing.
Yeah, it is
harmony.
in there.
There's a ton of stuff there, and Tony just did a fantastic job, just like curbing my my exaggeration and making everything like crisp and you the audio enthusiasts out there, if you put on a very good headphone, you can make up everything in that
single thing,
man.
And that's not an easy thing to do. Definitely for we're the same way. We tend to do a lot, like probably too much on some of our old hooks and stuff, and definitely layered like vocals. A lot of mix and mastering, people struggle like on that, right? And so it starts to sound like muddy, and that's what this didn't sound like. Despite it having so much going on in that hook, you hear everything individual. You hear both of our octave lowers. You hear obviously your main voice, and it just sounds so powerful. And then again, you got strings. Obviously, you have the guitar and everything. It's a double kick the whole time. It's just, but you hear it all like perfectly, right? You hear it all like, I mean, and that's, so again, big shout out.
For cymbals, the cymbals are cranking the whole chord. All the time. And it's like, it's really a metal orchestra where everything is a piece of the puzzle, and you can identify each piece of the puzzle separately. Just huge shout out to Tony. I've been working with Tony since it's been 4 years. 4 years since I've been working with Tony Lindgren. Fascination Street Studios on Sweden. They did Sabaton stuff. They did Dragon Force. They did Sepultura. I think Tony, not in the studio as an individual, he mastered for Billie Eilish.
Oh,
so it's the guy is incredible.
I love that. He's good, man. And like I said, I couldn't have been any happier with how just everything turned out. And just the energy of I mean, a good hook goes such a long way, man. With with carrying a song, especially in metal, man, it just goes such a long way. And it's obviously it's a really catchy hook, but it's not like cheesy. It's not cheap. It's not like we're actually saying something. Number one, like these are important lyrics. Probably the most important lyrics are in that hook that sets the tone for the entire track.
That's the challenge of the hook,
right?
Because it's something that you want to communicate something, but it's something that has to be repeatable. It's something that you are able to sing all over again in the beginning of the song and also at the end of the song and still make sense. That's why I didn't want to use the first lyrics that you sent me as a hook, because they were more like the bang
makes sense
of the song. Like, this is the time. This is like the apice of the narrative or of the story. So the hook, sometimes you get to dial back a little bit the epicness of the lyrics, just to make that be able to be repeated. But yeah, man, I'm very proud of those lyrics. I love that subject. No turning back. It's like two, and I also tried to had in mind that these are two characters talking to each other, right? Because that's the cool thing about duets. It's like not just singing stuff for others, but to each other. It's like two brothers, two soldiers talking to each other, propping up each other, like, man, we're gonna die and it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna take a bunch of motherfuckers with us. And it's like cheering each other on, like, no turning back, for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Like, I can see like the crazy eyes looking into each other, like, this day we find a glorious death. So like
so heavy. It's so
the
it's
people-
such a metal like song. Like it's
and the
like
people on the outside to like those motherfuckers are crazy.
are,
It's
are
like,
nuts.
yeah.
Like right now. Yeah, these motherfuckers are
Yeah.
nuts. But dude,
It's all about the concept of going down swinging.
exactly. And again, like I love that the lyrics within each verse complement that and it's speaking towards that. Like it's the story that's being told about this glorious death. And you know, I was focusing a lot on like, okay, like definitely with that first verse is more of like, okay, we're teaming up and we're gonna do this. And that second verse is my approach was more like, okay, you know, we're like we know like the reality of it. Like we're teaming up now. We know that look, we may end up fucking dying out of all this. And then that bridge part where I'm just or the breakdown where I'm just screaming. I try to match that energy, like, and I try to do this with a lot of. So I talked about this. People that watch me over the last fucking 15 years. I've talked about this before. Like the way that I see screaming in a song and why I don't lean so heavy on it like all the time. We have like a song like Be Great, which is like I'm yelling the whole time, but that's because the song called for it lyrically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So lyrically,
it's one song.
Yeah, exactly. One song where it's like that, even the hook is I don't think that's the only Be Great is the only song where I think the entire hook is screaming like that. That's the only song that we have like that.
Straight out death metal.
Yeah, it's
Straight
like
out Sepultura. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Where it's just like the hook. I'm going off. But for this one, and really for all of my songs, but especially this one, I'm like, okay, that signifies a energy kick up, right? Lyrically. So screaming is the perfect way to convey that, where it's like, now we're at the battle, okay? Things have gotten real. I've accepted this. We're gonna do this. I am going, yes, I might die, but you're going down. Like there's a lot of y'all actually, you know, I talk about like standing on skeletons, right? And all that. I wanted to convey that, but it wasn't just about the lyric, though. That's obviously where the song naturally needed to progress. It was the energy. And that's why I was like, that's a proper, I don't want to just scream just for the sake of doing it. I wanted to scream with intent, right? And I try to do that. I don't try to lean on that so heavily. You know, I like to do singing, you know, more clean vocals and when it's appropriate, but I try to use my screaming in a more like a really purposeful way. Yeah. And I feel like with this song, it really conveys that, because like that's the peak of it, right? And it's like the energy's matching. Where you can imagine if this was the song itself was a battle, where it's like you have the beginning of the battle where we're in preparation. We have the part where we're accepting that this could happen, probably is going to happen, and then you have the actual battle in itself where it's like we're getting really aggressive. And I was trying to convey that in that screaming part.
It's a tool of communication. The scream is a tool of communication.
Yes.
You don't pair like an aggressive tool of communication with something that's not aggressive.
Yeah.
Like I love the pretty flowers.
Yes, exactly.
You use that when it asks for it.
Right.
So that was fantastic. If you already had started screaming from the get-go, like the first time you start singing, it's more like a narrative, like setting up the what's happening so the listener can understand what's going on. Worlds collide on an unstable landscape. Like this is like the narrator at the beginning of Lord of the Rings, like telling you what's going on in that world and why are we going to die? Why are we going to battle? What's going on? What's happening? So if you already had started screaming by then, it would be consistent.
Exactly.
And you catch that, you caught that pretty well. That was well thought.
Yeah, like it like I said, it was just the song itself tells a story, and both musically it tells a story, the arrangement tells a story, and obviously the lyrics are telling a story, and that's what makes for a good song to me. Is all of that kind of cohesiveness. It's just not random. Right, everything is done with intent, And this song is purposeful in what's being said. It's an impactful song in terms of the general theme of it, and everything coincides. It's all together, and that's what makes for just a all around good song. Because I knew it, like, as soon as I heard everything, even before it got like fully mixed, I was like, this is a banger. And then once like you just started laying like everything on it, you hear it actually mixed. You hear the instruments mixed, and again we went for that big hook, right? Sound, and you really started to lay that down when you have like, you got your main voice, you have the lower octaves, and you have it all like just it's so big. And then that last one needed to
probably a total playing at the same time on that final hook, probably 30 vocal tracks, including yours. And yours was very useful for the lower part of the range, because your lower range is it sounds bigger than mine, so it was great to make that lower range sound bigger, but including everything, vocally wise. If you count everything, all instruments, it's probably, I don't know, 70.
I was about to say, like, you probably look at 70, 80.
The project was around 60, 70 tracks.
Yeah.
But voice wise, there were like 30 people singing that final hook. Like, and I made a point to Rippa. I told him I will not record this like super technically, because I want it to sound like a Viking choir.
Yeah.
I really want like an army of smelly, very, very brutal warriors, not singers, warriors going to battle, singing that. And to like, sounding good is not their first worry. So I want this to be very authentic in that sense, to sound like a Viking warrior choir.
That makes sense. And this is a perfect segue into we'll play the actual song, because FNT just rated us. Shout out to everybody there. Shout out to Gary. Everybody. I figured a lot of y'all were going to be coming from over there anyway, but shout out to the
are gays next. Gary.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking
Gary.
about that.
I'm not. I appreciate you guys holding my feet to the fire. It's been too long. Gary took 6 months to write his part. Okay, I'm not the only one at fault here, but thank you so much for being interested. Men Buns Are Gays coming for sure.
Let's go. But all right, guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna play the actual music video, performance music video with myself, and then we'll come and we'll get to some of the super chats. There's a bunch of them that I saw come in asking questions about the single and everything. Remember, you can obviously get the books. We encourage you to get the vinyl, get everything over at Rippaverse.com. But we're really selling everybody on the single, because this single has an opportunity to chart on Billboard. So go buy it. Not stream it. You should stream it, but buy it first. You can get it on iTunes, you get it on Amazon, but you also can buy it directly from us. That counts towards the charts. That's why we did it in the format that we did it over at. You can just go to Rippaverse.com/Norfrica. That'll redirect you right to that page and go buy it. All right, guys. Again, shout out to everybody from FNT. So this is a perfect time for you guys to listen in on the performance video. Check this out. We'll return after, and we'll go through all the super chats, but listen to the track.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Turn of the tide, I can see an innate desire. Sword in hand, warriors side by side, I can feel it, it burns like fire. Worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side, but that's what this man did. Be it might, and unlikely allegiance, we will fight because that's the best defense. No turning back for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. mission is clear as we ride against a dark empire. By my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this raging fire. Listen, be the infantry mindset. Night and day, we'll let loose and find it. Brutal will define our reaction. Rip out the throat of each one imperfection. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find the glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Glorious. The angels have fallen, my allies are beaten and broken down. I shed not a tear. After all, this is why we are here. A war we were not supposed to win. If I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that stands in my spine. Go! You must say me a fool. I stand on the skeletons of every goal. But if I'm to die, well, this very night, we'll kill every demon that stands in our soul. Turning back, for such is our path. This day we find the glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Make them remember glorious death. Glorious.
Tell you, man,
Yes.
I've heard that song 1,000 times and I love it.
Bro, me too,
I love it.
man. And every time I want to run through a wall,
That's what
man.
I'm saying. Every time I'm fucking stoked, like
Bro.
I was at Blaze, or I was on my way to Blaze today, and dude, that was on repeat the entire time. Like I was on my way there. Speakers.
That's also the
kicking.
hallmark of good mastering. Like
Yeah.
your ears don't get tired of listening, especially
Point.
heavy metal that you usually listen to in high volumes.
Yeah,
And it's like,
dude. Oh man, it's
bro,
so-
my neck still hurts. I recorded that. I shot this in the beginning of this week. And
Yeah.
you know when you work out a muscle for a long time and you get that hypertrophy pain,
Yeah.
it's like delayed on muscle soreness.
yeah.
I have delayed on muscle soreness on my neck from that because I don't show on my editing, but while you were singing, doing your stuff, I was like, I was jamming, man, because I was having fun.
Yes, it was fun. It was a
recording
fun
that.
one.
And I
Same-
saw your stuff too.
Yeah, I know,
like
I was
your
jumping around
footage.
like-
I saw your footage. Like when it's my turn to sing, Rippa doesn't
fucking,
simply
like,
go
jumping
go
around.
rest. He doesn't do like this and go rest for his take. He's like, yeah! Because it was super fun to perform this.
Yeah, it was, dude. Like I was having an absolute blast. I couldn't tell you. Shout out to Brian, my bandmate. He recorded all the all those parts, and I'm sitting there like,
Nice.
we did, I don't know how many takes, and I didn't care. Like, I was like, all right, give me some water. Let's do it again. I was like, oh, this is my second workout of the day. I'm good.
Exactly.
I was having so much fun with that damn track, man. But yeah, it's just a marking of like really just a good song, just all around, just a good, good.
You don't
track.
get tired of working on it, because
Yep.
when you work on a song, you already recorded several songs in you recorded an entire album. You probably heard that album like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And it's like you need to enjoy the music that you make in order to like, because you have to keep hearing it, and you often the majority of listens that you give to that song, it's not when it's at its best.
Right. True. That is true. Yeah.
So you also
you're trying to get it there. So yeah.
You also need to fall in love with the idea of the song, even if it's not sounding as it is in your head at that time.
Yep.
Bro, yeah. And also people are saying, hey, Dan looks full. I might or might not have cranked like 50 push-ups before shooting.
That was my one regret. That was my one regret, is that usually any other time I'm the one not wearing the sleeves. I don't know what possessed me to not fucking wear a tank top in that. Big shout out, by the way, Andrew just gave me an update. We just hit 60,000
Let's go.
for the glorious death. Again, we'll talk about that a little later. We got plenty of time, but shout out to everybody. I know we're really focusing on the music. That's because, again, it's crucial that we do that in the first week, because we have an opportunity to chart, and not just chart, be on the top of that bad boy. So please go buy the single right now. It's pinned in the comments, it's pinned in the comment section. It's also in the description. We're gonna get some of these super chats, because I know a lot of y'all just got here. Shout out to Cheryl, shout out to Magdalena, and big shout out to Diane for becoming members right when this bad boy started. Thanks to all of y'all. Cheryl piggybacking says hello to both of you. I loved both the videos. I downloaded the song from iTunes and pre-ordered vinyl. Let's go.
Nice.
Thank you for giving us an amazing Friday. Just real quick, there's two vinyls. There's a standard version, 140G. You guys that are familiar with that, you'll know what that is. The little special edition is it's a 180, so it's a heavyweight, but it's also gold. The whole damn record is gold. Gold record, and obviously it has it's a gatefold vinyl as well. Like for you guys that collect, it's not just like the basic one is. Like gatefold is art. Shout out to James Holland. He did the art on it. Marcos colored it. It has art going all the way around it and inside the actual gatefold. So that is it's going to be a wonderful collection there. So go grab that.
That's amazing.
And one of the I forget who kind of pitched this idea to me internally, but one of the milestones is actually getting a cassette. Let me just show those real quick.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I added that literally last minute. My dev was probably wasn't happy about it, but I did add that literally last minute.
Bro.
That all right. So we have several different milestones. At 150K, we will do a Glorious Death cassette tape. I already got everything.
Norfrica goes retro.
Yes.
Let's go.
Retro cassette. Once it hits 150K. Right now we're at 60. I know these numbers aren't updated. Well, yeah, we've already hit 60. We're over 60 now. So thanks to everybody.
That's a Dan Vasc milestone.
Yeah,
retro milestone.
Yes. So 150. That's the big one. We can get that cassette tape. As we talked about, 300 or the Norfrica Billboard chart. A lot of people have already asked about.
So we can get that before getting the cassette.
Yes. That is
will
possible.
That mean that we have to release the EP on cassette? Hey,
that'd be interesting. I'd be down to do that though. I'd be down to do an additional cassette for the EP. But that's one thing that we are promising you guys, is that we will do a full collaboration, because that was the comment that I saw the most. Are y'all going to do more music? You need to do more music. This is a cool collaboration. You guys, mesh well just in how we just sing on
now
a
you
song.
guys believe it.
Yes.
You had to see it.
Yeah, you had to see it. So there's a high demand for something full length. We got you. If we build, you got two ways to do it. One, hit 300K for the actual full collection. Two, chart, Billboard chart. So buy the single. It's not both streams. What if we get? Someone asked me about that before the stream.
Full album.
Like yeah, double album. Right here, full. Yeah. Like I will seriously though, if we do hit both, I'd like to do something special. For you guys.
It's got to be something more than what's in there.
Yeah, I will for sure. I'll ponder on it. Maybe me and Dan can ponder on it. We'll tag team that. But yes, if we hit 300,000 and we Billboard chart, then we'll do something. We'll do something special for sure. But the first one, Billboard chart, that will be what would hit first, because that's going to be the end of next week. We're going to know that probably going into next Friday. Right. So be sure to buy the single. You can purchase it outright. Go hit it, Rippaverse.com, or you can actually get it from this collection. If you click on this collection and you go to buy now, you can actually grab it directly there. But also you can get it from iTunes. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from Rippaverse.com/Norfrica, which will take you to this page, and you can buy it outright. So we need purchase.
I usually send my music to my girlfriend, but I'll tell her to buy it.
Yes, please.
Buy
yes.
it. I'm not sending you anything.
Yeah. yes.
My mother and my brother are gonna tell them the same thing.
Yes, buy it. That's what we need. Buys, not just streams. You can stream it after you buy it, but buy it. That's what we need. We need actual sales. Tell everybody to get it. That's what you need to do. So we'll see what happens. But 5,000, we got another concept art book. There's a lot of new characters that are introduced in this. The first story is centered a lot around Validan. That's by design. I'll have some more information about that and how the limited series is designed, but it's very Validan and everything that's around him and his family with the first book. So it's a lot of new characters most of the characters that are in this story you have never seen. So we're going to do a concept art book at 5,000 that has the original artwork from Marcos Rios, and we'll do a deck if we hit 500,000 that also has those characters for the document cards for you guys that are collectors of that. So those are the 4 milestones that we have. The first one that we probably are going to hit would be the Billboard chart. So please go buy it right now. Again, I appreciate all of y'all that have been showing all the love there. All right, let me get to some of the others here. Donna became a member. Shout out Donna. Elf with that's 40 euros. Shout out. Says hello, Eric and Dan. Thank you so much for absolutely amazing, hard-hitting song. I was rocking out while work. I love that. And Dan screaming, hell, buy song in Ripper Shop, please. Go to Rippaverse.com and grab it along with the comic and the vinyl. Thanks, guys. I love you. Appreciate you so much, and I appreciate those kind words. Thank you, Effie. She's right. Appreciate you getting the single. Go get the book. If you haven't got the book, well, go get the single. Vice versa, whatever. Just get all the stuff. There's so much stuff surrounding this. We're really just getting started with this release, and we're gonna have a lot of fun all campaign long. So, Elfie, thank you so much for grabbing everything. Go get the vinyl. Go get the vinyl if you just want to focus on the audio stuff. That is part of this collection and does add towards the milestones. So yeah, go grab that. Thank you so much.
When did you start writing that book?
So I started writing it probably, man, that's such a good question. When did I start writing Norfrica? Norfrica, maybe I started doing the characters, I know, like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
2 years, that was the characters. As far as like that are part of the story, not like Takhari and Validan. Obviously, I designed those before ISOM.
Yeah,
that was over 3 years ago when I designed those.
Yeah,
but the Norfrica characters were about a full year ago and some change. We started to really flesh those out with the concept art and me actually writing it, and then the art obviously the full artwork started to get worked on. And yeah, just to show
2 years ago we were just starting to move the project forward.
Exactly. So yeah, it was around the same time for sure. But yeah, as you guys can see, Ronaldson is the artist on this. He is one of the absolute best in the business. You've seen some of his work on our covers. Marcos Rios is the colorist on this as well. I mean, this story is insane the way this the artwork kind of plays out. So big shout out to Ronaldson's working extremely hard on this. Marcos Martins, I see him in the chat. There he is. That's the colorist of this project. He also colored some of the covers as well. You can fellow Brazilian, by the way. Shout out. So
Marcos.
Yeah,
that's how you pronounce it then.
Yeah,
Marcos. Hell yeah.
He's a fellow Brazilian. So yeah, all the covers, some of our best ones. Obviously, you already saw this with Kanan White, our own Kanan White. We have Gabriel Iacano on this one, which I love that. And this one, a great cover. I know a lot of people like, wow, nice. On that one. This is going to have foil. It's going to be tricked out. I love it. So Norse inspired. So I absolutely love that. And this one, Validan's family on it, his crew. Go check all of these out. You can go grab them right now. There's plenty of them. So yeah. Appreciate everybody, by the way. Again, awesome. I can't say that enough. And Darius, he's been talking about it. He said, I got to run, but I grabbed my Read and Collect Norfrica and Special Edition vinyl this morning. Let's go. We'll be doing a music video reaction break. Yes.
Nice.
Do all those. He says on his channel, Cyber Skull Media. Yes. By the way, if you're in the chat, you're not going to get dinged.
Yeah.
If you do a reaction video to this track.
Me and Rippa were some of the first started to do that. Everyone, like I remember we talked about it like 4-5 years ago when everybody was registering this stuff on Content ID, and we were like, why do those people do that? Like you're punishing the people who are promoting you.
Exactly.
Like if you were Metallica or Iron Maiden, I would understand, but you're not. You're Billy from I don't know. Don't
you need as many eyes as you can get it.
Yeah.
So do your reactions, by the way. Do your reactions. It's all good. You're not gonna get dinged. Upload those to YouTube. We'll share them out. So please go do those. Please.
React. Comment. Use it on your streams.
Yes, use it on your stream. You want to do an intro or something, outro for your stream, you can use the song and you're not going to get dinged. You'll be good to go. So yeah.
Don't re-upload it completely like with no commentary,
Yeah.
We're gonna be sad if you do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Be transformative. You know what I'm saying?
Add to it.
Yeah. Put your unique spin on it for sure.
Yeah.
Cover it even if you want to. I don't care.
Wow.
That'd be even cooler.
Wow, a taste of our own medicine.
Yeah, right. Covering the cover artist. Yes. Covering the cover artist. That'd be pretty sick. Exactly. My man's Andrew, 59 months, our social media manager, creative manager here. Says this collab has been a long time in the making, and finally seeing y'all rock together is pure metal. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, this is something that we've been working on for a while in the background, and again, it was a natural thing, and it was a lot of it came from demand.
We kept telling people, this is gonna make your head explode. We're not joking. This is actually good. You guys are gonna go crazy over it.
And there you go. The Siggy Tiggs with a 5 says, I better hear this song one day at a meetup. Beginning was very Manowar-esque. Then it morphed into some metalcore, operative power metal mashup of awesomeness. And that's funny. Like that's more or less kind of how, we told when I was pitching this. I remember talking about those elements of, obviously the main elements. You got to have the African inspiration. You got to have the Norse inspiration. But we did talk about like how do we I remember even sending you like some references, like how do we mix some core elements into it with keeping this metal and having like the Viking inspiration, Viking metal inspiration as well. And that's why I said that was a tall order, and you nailed it perfectly, man, in meshing all of that together, because what it does is it serves both our audiences.
Yeah, and it's very easy to combine a bunch of different stuff and just being a crazy salad without consistency and like no personality. We managed to combine all of that stuff, and all of it is still distinguishable. Like you can still make it out, like you can still tell what is what.
Right. Right.
Hey, here's the African influence. Here's the
Yep.
Viking influence. Here's the Man of War. I love people catching that
Yeah.
on the comments of our videos and on social media. Oh, I catch some Man of War influence
Yeah.
there. I catch some Ice Earth. I catch some
Yeah.
metalcore influence there. It's like you can still notice the different ingredients of the meal. It's not.
Yep.
It didn't become like just like a
just a
mishmash.
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it that's what was again a tall order, because you've seen people kind of mix definitely different types of genres, and just absolutely fail, because it's just again they're trying to do too much and it doesn't really mesh well because everything's fighting each other in the song, and that's not what you did here. You have everything complementing everything, like you're taking like kind of the best elements of that thing, right, that need to be part of the song. But it's again, song's still telling the story and it's cohesive. That's what's so important, and why it landed, I think, the way that it did. And I just knew like this is a hit. This is an absolute banger, and it checks all the boxes, man, all of them. So
and something about songwriting that you for sure, I know you know this because I know you have a lot of unreleased material.
I'm sitting
You
home
gotta
doing
be
these
humble.
songs.
You gotta be humble to say to yourself no.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And
True.
like deny your own ego.
Facts.
Sometimes deny some ideas. And say,
Facts.
hey, this is simply not gonna go here.
Yep.
And
That's
it's like
that's
it's
song.
tough.
Yeah, and it is. It's like you do have to do that because it's not about, you're definitely trying to put yourself in and I always do this, in the seat of the listener, right?
Yes.
Is what I'm always trying to do, not just from my perspective, because I know what, we have these music backgrounds, and some of us are even trained and we understand this, and it's supposed to sound like this, but it's different when you're just like a fan of something.
Yeah,
right?
just a day-to-day, regular person.
It's different, and to appeal to that ear can be a bit of a challenge. And you put that perfectly, Dan, in that when you are writing a song, that has to be taken into consideration, and you have to be humble and have enough humility about yourself to be like, yeah, that doesn't go there, or that doesn't make sense. That was one of the things I had to turn that off. Like I was like, look, this is not a backwards track, right? I sat in the studio with that in mind. I was like, this is not a backwards track. Check. I changed my cadence and how I was singing things and everything, because I'm like, I'm complimenting the song, and doing all the crazy stuff, like even like the type of screams, right? Like I know a lot of people are used to some of like my lows. Like I did it like in that.
I noticed that.
Right? Like they're accustomed to
that.
And I only did it like really in that part that was like that we're about to throw to each one. Like,
and
so
it was more like in the doubles.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So for the people at home who don't know how this works, is when we mean doubles, like is the same line being sang twice. We combine them just to make it sound bigger.
Yep. And that's where I laid that. Whereas if it's a backwards song, definitely when we're going to the more like, deathcore influence, like I'm like there, like the entire time, or entire verse or something, but it didn't call for that. The song didn't call for that. Like, I was like, this is not a backwards track. I don't need to scream every time, and how I'm singing needs to complement the instruments. It needs to complement where Dan had went, because that's what I was really trying to do, especially on the verses, right? Like I know where you end it, right? Like raging choir, like you end up there. So I'm like, okay, I gotta start kind of right there, like in that mid tone, right? And I need to keep that consistency.
Pick
and then
it up from where I left.
Right, it's like a football, right? So it's like you put it up there, right there for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab that, and I'm gonna stay right there, because again, that's what the song calls for. It wasn't just about doing my own thing. This is why I specifically worded it. This is my favorite collaboration, because that's very much what this was, right? It was like, I hear what you're doing. I'm trying to not just do a song for the sake of doing it. I'm trying to complement the track, but also where Dan went and or where he was going or about to go, right? All that was taken into consideration in every aspect of laying down those vocals. So I just had so much fun with that, because like I said, it also was awesome. A challenge.
It was also so fun to see where you went with it. Because it's like I could have sent you your lines. Like
Yeah.
I could have sent you like your lyrics and your melodies. But it's like I want to have like a second brain
Yeah.
working on this, and it's part of the fun. Like where's he gonna go with that?
Right.
So I'm kind of sending him the beginning and the end, and he will come up with the middle. And it's like it was so awesome because if it surprises me, it for sure is gonna surprise
Yeah.
the listener
Yeah.
as well. So that was just so fucking awesome, man. A perfect mix of surprising. It's like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that, because the song kind of starts with a sort of like melodic power metal vibe in terms of vocals, and then suddenly you have this like metal core vibe, more metal core, but still melodic. And it's like, shit, this is very surprising. So it's a great combination of that and also a balance between that. And it's like, of course, that's what the song asks. That's what the song demands. So it's a combination of surprising and like the realization that, it's meant to be that way.
Exactly. And that's what I love about the project so much, because top to bottom, that's kind of the idea, right? You're working as a tandem, and that starts even from the comic book characters, right? They're these gods, they're different gods, and they're coming together and doing this. They obviously have this metal band, but we're going to entertain some of the more fantastical elements of them being a deity, I guess, or whatever. But they collaborate, right, as characters. And then you have like the actual song in which we're telling a story that's also in universe, right? In concept of who those characters is. And I got to give a big shout out to you, Dan, because I don't think we either one of us has said this publicly. Remember when I actually sung the bridge part and you were like, well, we probably shouldn't do that because it's not consistent with the book. You remember that?
You changed something from the panel.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, the panel is the panel.
Yeah.
It's already there. We can change it and like retcon it, but it's like there could be many explanations for that. Many bands change their lyrics a little bit live and that sort of stuff. But Rippa said no, no.
Yeah, I was like, when
consistent.
He brought that up, and I love that because he's caring about like the continuity, right? Like he's caring
because
about
it was all I had.
Yeah,
but I read and reread those panels and analyzed those characters. It's like because it's all I had was a couple of pages, so I ate up those pages. This is like and regurgitated them back to you in the form of song. So I noticed that right away because I was just so familiar with those panels and with those lines, because initially was all I had. It was all I had.
And I love that. Again,
the entire song came from this.
Yep. And I love that because again, it speaks to the collaborative effort of the entire track. And when you brought that up, I was like, yeah, Dan's 1000% right. We need to do it more this way, because that was what was already established, right? And that's what it's about, like maintaining that sort of consistency. So
people noticing that is so cool, man.
Yeah.
That guy who tweeted. I saw some people on my video too. Oh shit, that's on Isom 1.
Yeah. It wasn't just random words. Like, no, like you can imagine it. Now it even makes that scene a little more, you appreciate it more, because you're like, now you can hear the song that they're performing.
Exactly.
Right?
You read Isom 1 again, you're gonna hear the song every time you read the end.
Yep. And I love that. Just big. I know there's a bunch of super chats that we got to get to, but my co-host, Az, just dropped a 20. He says, I'm the biggest Dan Vasc fan in the world, and I'm willing to fight any 55-year-old woman in the chat who thinks otherwise, anytime, any place. He says, guys, the song is a banger, smash this whole campaign. Hey, thanks to you.
Thank you so much, Az.
Much love to you, man. Obviously, Saints and Sinners writer as well. And yeah, big shout out to you, Az, and all the love. I'm sure we'll be talking about, Wednesday will be one of the final days to get those first week sales. So I'm sure we'll be talking about on Ripping the Silverback, which is on his channel next week. So I just want to give this because obviously bandmate Alex says with it too, Dan must teach me or replace me in backwards.
No, man, I cannot do those metalcore hooks like super
Yeah,
straight.
he does them so good, man. Like,
Yeah,
Alex is clean vocals.
It's like
right
my clean. That's the word. My
Yeah.
style is more like I'm more like Bruce Dickinson wise.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm more operatic, and it sounds goofy as fucking metalcore.
Yeah,
Alex
man.
is
Like,
awesome, man.
yeah, he has a unique voice. He can sing his
Yeah.
fucking ass off too, man. He's so good. But you shout out Alex. Okay, let me scroll back up to get us back on track. We have Margaret with a 5 says tremendous. Couldn't have been better. Congratulations to you too. Thank you,
Margaret.
Appreciate you, Margaret. My man DB says epic. Jason, will Warriors cover Dan Vasc, please? So
I gotta do my homework on that one.
okay. Shout out. Thanatos with a 5 says, love the song, very old school metal, can't go wrong with the basics. Yeah, like I said, it checks awesome, but I think it has a nice mix, right? It mixes some of again actual like real heavy metal aspects of it. Again, definitely it starts like really straight up power metal, and it does kind of mix some of the modern elements into it.
Yeah.
There's
There's definitely a basic foundation,
right,
where everything goes on top of.
Right.
And that's something else about humility and humbleness. Like, don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
sometimes.
man.
Yeah,
not necessary.
Yeah, apply your ideas on top of what is already proven.
Yep. What already works. It's perfect. Yeah. Defendo99 says, absolute banger. I need an album. Like we said, we'll do an EP.
Let's go.
We chart or we hit 300,000. If we hit both, Dan and I will come up with something special to do there. But yeah, that's the key to getting that
Bro, there's
EP.
so many possibilities.
Dude, yeah.
It's like we could do covers in universe.
Yeah.
Like what if Norfrica covered Iron Maiden? How would it sound?
That'd be sick.
You know, what if
heavy.
Norfrica covered Katy Perry? I don't know.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, from their
and also
perspective.
like acoustic ballads.
Oh,
like
yeah.
with legit African and Viking acoustic instruments.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
There are so many possibilities.
We would have so much fun on a full album. Dude. My gears are already kicking on all the cool stuff that we can do. So yeah, if you want the album to happen, go buy the single. Rippaverse.com/Norfrica. Go buy the single right now. Help us chart. My man Spencer with a 5 says, this is so over the top. And awesome says, please hit me up if you ever need guitar work or a solo. I'll do it for free.
Nice, man.
Shout out Spencer.
Hell yeah.
Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with 26 months says, you guys did not disappoint. Also, some chats and messages came in before the stream started. I know sometimes the stream forgets to catalog them. I'm glad you said that. I guess what I can do, am I logged in? No, I'm not. Let me just check that real quick to make sure that
oh, you mean super chats?
Yeah, the super chats. Sometimes, like, if there are some that come in before the stream, they won't show up in like the StreamYard at all. So yeah, good call on that. Let me make sure I get them all. Let me scroll down. There is okay, no, we got them. I think I got them all. Yeah, the first one was from Churl, and we got that one, so that's perfect. Appreciate that heads up, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Brian Marshall says 199 says 1999. Well, it's 199. That's
not how it works.
Nah, you can't just speak it into existence. Not quite how it works. But what you should do is you can.
That's a government with fiat currency.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly
inflation, I guess.
Yeah.
But for 199, you can get the single. Actually, for less than that, you can get the single. Norfrica Glorious Death. So go grab that. Everybody that's in the super chat, you better have bought the single. Jake Stanley with a blue. Jake Stanley Blue Blaze says, Ripper, how much fun was it destroying that fucking mic, dude? What a great mix of genres. You both created something here that I've been dying to hear.
Nice.
I had a lot of fun, man, both doing the music video as well as obviously laying it down in the studio. Because like I said, it was challenging understanding what was all on the line for it. This was highly anticipated. I'm getting to work with Dan and all that, and obviously him being a great vocalist. So again, it brought the best out of me. So I was doing things that you don't really hear me do it in backwards. So it was a test, and I had a lot of fun. So I had a blast.
Yeah, man, I never heard you doing anything closer
Yeah.
to that high note. That
Yeah.
high note. I asked you, I kind of set up the key of the song. I asked you, hey man, what is the lower note that you can do and the higher note that you can do? I asked you from some backwards examples. You sent me some, and I set the key of the song for that, thinking of that, and he just like, no, fuck you,
fuck it. I'm giving it a shot because you hit some notes, but also again, it complemented the song, and you were hitting some notes in there as well, and I was like, it's just it's a brief part, but it's so perfect.
No one would have held against you, if you didn't do it.
Yeah,
it was purely out of pride.
Yeah, literally pride. No, perfectly put. That's exactly what it was. I was like, I have to show out on this song. I got Dan here. I'm showing out on this damn song. So I'm going. Like I said, usually for you guys that have heard maybe some of the song where I have saying higher, definitely when I go higher, I tend to do like a more of a like a false chord kind of. What
was the backwards song that you sent me? You sent me one that you were singing melodically pretty high, but it wasn't a
I can't remember which one it was because there's a couple of them that I do sing pretty high on, but yeah, like I'm more so I will
bye cover was also there were some parts that were
there was some parts on that one that I went up on, but yeah, I tend to like there's a few because it's not like I can't do it. I just tend to float around the range that I feel most comfortable. But for this one, I was like, nah, man, I got to get out of my comfort zone for this one. So I'm going up. But yeah, like again, I want to do it raw because I could have done it. Like it's not like the note itself I couldn't hit because I can again either go cheat, like and I'm gonna kind of do it in more of a falsetto. But I was like, no, I want to belt this. I want to try to belt this part. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'm glad y'all liked this. I tweeted this out. I was like,
sounded
dude,
amazing, man. And that's a very good line of reasoning for a singer, because a lot of like the hallmark of the newbie of the, and I don't mean that in a bad way, like just like the beginner and in metal, is like because he can hit the note doesn't mean you should.
Bingo.
And also, it doesn't mean it will sound good, because I see a lot, especially in power metal, man. Power metal is like, it's the hallmark of a beginner power metal singer. It's like, sounds like a fucking cartoon character. Something sounds very cartoonish and like, doesn't sound like a human being singing. So if you're going to hit that note, make sure you hit it well.
Yeah.
Because it's not sufficient to just hit it.
Yeah. You gotta go. You gotta actually do it, man. And that's what I wanted to make sure I did, man. I was like, I'm gonna do it. Hadn't done this in any backwards track, but I'm glad it turned out well, because once we laid it down, I was like, oh.
Now I have the precedent. People are gonna start asking. Your backwards. Your backwards colleagues are gonna. Hey, you did it for Dan. So
exactly. Oh man, appreciate that. Though, Jake, and thanks for those kind words. Let me where am I at? I got that one. Okay, there we go. Donna with a 10 says, one of the most talented, unique collaborations out there. Thank you for this. And that's what I love about it as well. I love everything about this damn song. I can't say that enough. But yeah, I'm not saying that I want this to come off as arrogant, but it is unique in the sense that I don't think the dynamic could work with any other two individuals. Like it's just not, it just couldn't, right? It's the reason why this song works the way that it does is because of the individuals that are involved. And it's a uniqueness thing. It's not to say they can't, there aren't other great phenomenal. We both collaborated with phenomenal singers out there, but like just everything that went into this was such a unique thing. It's like it only could have worked with Dan and Eric. That's the only way that song
very
like that
natural
sounds that way. Yeah,
very natural in a sense. It was natural with us, but at the same time, not natural to happen in the wild.
Right.
just like that. Like it's natural for us because we're friends. We see, as Rippa said, we see eye to eye in in regards to a bunch of stuff, and we've been playing this stupid Mario Kart game forever, talking shit to each other, and we ended up doing streams together. Like,
definitely during my show when I was doing a show all the time. We had you there.
Yeah, I was there, and then I joined TNME as a fixed host, but it was like usually those two types of musicians don't hang out very often. Like the old school 70s, 80s metal had with the modern metal guy. Usually that doesn't happen as easily in the wild. So while at the same time was natural for us, we simply decided to do a song together, and this came out. That sort of collaboration is not very common.
Yeah. No, it's not. And that's why I don't think it ever could be replicated at all, just with everything. And that's what makes this so cool. And that as we continue with this, I do think it has, again, audience, it's going to be up to you. But as this whole thing goes and, maybe we end up doing an EP and this thing takes off even more, I do think that's like, it's only they can do that. Like that's what people are going to say with this. It's like some things just can't be replicated. And that's great. It makes it unique. And I think, I think you put it perfectly. It's like something that you don't see all the time and can't really be created, but it did come kind of rather natural for us because we were firing on all cylinders. And also, again, I think just also in the general inspiration, like liking some of the same guys, like, I talked with Manowar, massive, like that's my shit. Right. Like, that was some of the first metal like that I had ever listened to. Right. And it's like, us coming from that side of it as well. And I know I trended more.
Did you always like metal?
Yeah. It's funny you say that. Yeah. Mainly. So I tell this, I've told this story before. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to tell it again. But my mother was an audiophile, man. Like she would listen to everything. So she came up, she was 30 years old.
With the expensive headphones,
like she just liked music. Like so my first introduction to just music in general, like as a lot of people, was the church, singing in the choir. It's like that. I feel like that's a common story for pretty much everybody.
You're Protestant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So singing in the choir, and my mother, though, she would listen to a lot of different stuff, right? Like she would, she came obviously from the era of, you're talking like Motown, like R&B, soul stuff, but she also listened to a lot of, and a lot of people don't know, if you know the history of just general rock and roll, a lot of that is definitely the older stuff. It's blues. It's just blues, right? Like, Chuck Berry and all that, like, sort of sent me down. That's what really the backing of metal. Definitely, if you go from that to like the Led Zeppelins and the Iron Maidens, like it's like blues. And that was some of the stuff that I was listening to. So I had a natural progression to that, but also my mother jammed it, right? My mother, even though, again, you don't expect this born in the 50s, 60s black woman to be listening to all this stuff, but she did. And some of the first
do you remember the bands exactly?
Yeah, most definitely. Rock. If we're talking just straight up rock, I remember first rap rock kind of collaboration thing that I ever heard, Beastie Boys. She loved Beastie Boys.
Oh yeah,
Beastie Boys was that was how I kind of got introduced to like hearing those actually mix. But yeah, you have, like, obviously, everybody knows Big Deal guy. And you hear me. I covered Holy Diver. That was one of the first like non-metal core songs that I covered. Well, no, not take that back. It was actually Dream On. Dream On was the first one that I Aerosmith.
You did that high note?
I did do that high note. I did do that high note. That was one of the first songs that I covered on my stuff. But yes. So
I did that
obviously
one too. I did Dream On, both Dream On and Holy Diver.
Nice. Yeah. Those come from that era, but obviously Manowar, I listen to Iron Maiden, Led Zeppelin, but like some of the more like modern stuff, really the big modern one was for me, just because I lived in the area and they were massive, was like Pantera, right? During the time, right? So, I'm from Dallas.
It pretty much invented that metalcore style.
Exactly. They don't get the credit for it.
Yeah.
But I believe that kind of core.
Back in the 90s, man.
Yeah. Like
super
that
early.
That was kind of, that was like, oh man, this is hearing like Walk and not just Walk, when Cowboys from Hell and all of that stuff, but like even some of the more just like some people like some of those latter albums people aren't fans of. I'm a fan of pretty much all of the Pantera stuff, and yes, someone said R.I.P. Dimebag. But yeah, like my mother, I attribute my love for music to her because she listened to so many different things. But like I said, really my natural progression to going into metal, it was like hearing the gospel, right? And the gospel, definitely in the South, it's really bluesy, right? And old blues and metal go hand in hand, right? That's all that stuff was. And so it's a natural progression for me to kind of become a metal guy. I didn't start performing it until I was in my latter teenage years, but I was listening to it for forever. And you could just think about, even like when we were coming up, like there was another boom in like the late 90s, 2000s of like just harsher rock music,
for
right?
sure. Like that post grunge era.
Yeah.
It's like stuff. It's new metal started to show.
Yeah. System of a Down.
System of a Down. Was thinking of that.
Yeah.
Rock started to become something like, it's not for the degenerate anymore. It's more, it's something that you would see playing in movies.
Yeah.
It's something that you would see like in events, like mainstream events, that sort of stuff.
Right.
Pretty much post grunge era. Because I feel like in the early 90s there was a little bit of a fatigue, I feel.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the 80s, because like bands at the end of the 80s were starting to go all out, like with hair metal stuff, and starting to look completely ridiculous, and going like, how do we look more different amongst the different people? And so like you get bands like wearing like pretty much cross-dressing.
Yeah.
and I think there was a little bit of a fatigue with that. That's when grunge came in, which was like, hey, we're just really depressed, and we don't like to shower, and we play 3 chords. And fuck all the rest. And then post grunge, I feel it started to.
I agree. You got
sort of a
pickup.
revival.
And that's in all that era, the Slipknots, the fucking, like I said, System of a Down was a pretty big one, like a really, really big one. In the really in the early 2000s. And even then, like, I think rock just in general had a general like kind of revival, because the other ones were firing on all cylinders too. Like some of the punk bass, like even stuff started to kind of get popular again during those times. And obviously hardcore, if you're more like into that stuff going into 2000s, which is like my jam, like the Hate Breeds of the world and Kill Switch, and that's when the real core shit.
You sent me Hate Breed.
Hate Breed was it? Yeah, Hate Breed
was one of the influences that you sent me.
Yeah. Hate Breed's a good one, man. Because they mixed the hardcore kind of with the metalcore kind of elements there. But yeah, it was just someone brought like, that's got more of the new metal stuff. Someone brought Limp Bizkit and like Korn and all that shit. Like that was all during that era. But it was so many different types of bands, even like just general alternative rock was just like, it was another boom, which was great. So I brought that up because like obviously we were coming of age during that time as well. So it was just a good time to listen to.
You're 35.
Yeah,
we're the same age.
Yeah, we're the same exact age. Literally the same. Again, I think that's another reason why this shit works. Like, you and I, we see eye to eye. We're literally the same exact age. We are everything. It's just.
Jay's lying in the chat.
What happened?
Maybe I should blocking him. Jay's telling lies about me in the chat.
Oh, here we go.
Maybe
Shout out.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
just
should
damn
make this
blocked me
lie
on Twitter.
true.
Shout out Jay, Saints and Sinners writer. Shout out.
Jay just sent me a message saying he loved the song.
Let's go.
Awesome guy.
Let's
Fantastic.
go. Shout out.
friend.
Yeah, someone brought Seven Dust. Yeah, Seven Dust is a big one. Can't go wrong with Seven Dust. So yeah.
So with me, I grew up on the church as well, also
Mm-hmm.
Protestant, Methodist to be more precise. Very white music. Even down here in Brazil, Methodists like
So that's the church I grew up in, a Methodist church, but I was growing up in like the African American Methodist church. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I feel like it was very, very Americanized and very, very, very white. I don't mean that as a derogatory way, of course. We're not about that here. But just, I grew up on a very protective bubble from that devil's music.
Yeah.
But one day I discovered a Brazilian band called Oficina G3. The Brazilians in the chat know this band for sure. And it was a gospel heavy metal band.
I love that.
Hard rock heavy metal band, Brazilian one. And a friend of mine got me a couple records, a couple CDs. And I used to play PC games because back in the day you could play the game on PC. Once the game starts running, you can remove the CD of the game CD, and the game will keep running. So I will play games, remove the CD, the game CD, and put the music CD and listen to this band, to this heavy metal gospel band, as I was playing PC games. And it was like, I kept listening to those couple albums over and over and over again. And I was around 9 or 10 years old. It was like, and growing up completely like not knowing what that was. Not knowing what heavy metal is. For me, was like such this unique thing that I never heard anywhere else, that I didn't even know the name of. That I was like, oh my God. And at the beginning, my parents were a little concerned. They were like, this is just noise and stuff. And then I remember clearly, my dad passed away in 2017. But one of my fondest memories that I have from him, I was already older. I was around 18 at this point. And my dad told me, my dad said, I think I'm starting to like that noise of yours.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's like
Let's go.
This noise of yours. I think I can hear music in there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Gotta have an ear.
That's how it starts.
That's how it is, and then you go down that rabbit hole. But
yeah,
now, I'm right there with you, man. Like I grew up and like I said, I think that's why that progression was natural, because for me, though I grew up in the church, obviously in the South, and for you guys that are in the chat. Like if you've been to like a African American like AME church, like a African American like Methodist like church, and you've listened to like just general like Southern gospel music, it's just blues, man. It's really bluesy in its design, like 12 bar and all. Like it's like a really bluesy kind of sound. So that was again my introduction to just singing. Obviously, and all that, but that hearing that, and my mother, like, you know, obviously I've been a musician for like, I remember played piano and younger, and being able to connect those, I think is what helped my love, because it's like, again, if you go from gospel, understanding that it's blues, and then you understand that blues like really is a foundation of just rock music, you know, it in general, and you look at like you listen to like a Chuck Berry, it's really easy to for that to turn in, and you understand like even all of like earlier rock bands like Beatles and all those guys, they were all covering like Muddy Waters and stuff like that. It's all blues. Like this is all.
You don't even need to go that far back. Like you get some of the 80s hard rock, like very popular bands. Bro, Bon Jovi, shout out Gary.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi, like there's some straight out blues rock songs,
blues,
man. Very blues country. Very blues country.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's what it was for me, connecting that to like, again, another genre. And it was easy for me to again, just have an ear for it. I will say this. I wanted to perform it based on, all right, so that was 1998, I think. So it was 7, 8. All right. So cassette tape, never forget it. Mother bought from Lauryn Hill, if you know, she's an R&B and hip hop artist. And she mixes a lot of like gospel elements or R&B elements into, and she can rap her ass off, which is like, she's one of the most talented artists ever. Only dropped one album, went diamond, and said fuck this, and that was it. But hearing that was what made me want to get into music, because I thought it was the coolest thing ever to hear someone mix all those genres like that and just be really, 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 really good, right? And she was actually, you know, she had a great message in some of the songs that she was singing as well, that you more so appreciate, obviously, when you're older. But I just thought that was the coolest thing. And I was like, when I heard that, I was like, I just want to do music in some capacity. I want to do music. And, you know, I had a journey. It was a journey of performing so many different genres. Like I said, definitely in my latter teenage years, like going like maybe 16, 17, where I was flipped from doing just like straight up rap shit to like, and my flip was crazy, because my flip was like from that, as far as a performer, to like, not like a transition to doing like rock, right? That was more digestible. I went from that to like fucking Pantera. Like, so, you know, it was like an extreme. And
how did your parents feel about that?
They didn't. The Pantera thing, I don't think my mother was ever like, because again, more of the yelling, the screaming and shit. She didn't really, I don't want to say she didn't vibe with it, but that wasn't her type of, when she did listen to rock and metal and blues, like that wasn't her type of stuff. She would jam a Aerosmith, she would jam a Led Zeppelin, Iron Man, she would jam all that type of stuff, but like a Pantera, where it's like
too much,
fucking heavy as fuck. Yeah. That wasn't really her thing. But that was like for performing, I went from that to more doing that. It was like an extreme end, but it worked out. I was finding myself and it worked out. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I remember starting to perform like in small band festivals here locally, here in my town. Never toured. I did a mini tour when I started doing YouTube. Some Finnish guy discovered me and offered to pay to make some shows with him on Finland, but that was it. I very quickly discovered that this life of a traditional musician, this format, releasing album, touring, that wasn't for me. Yeah. And it confirmed for me that was the right choice to not go that way when I started getting successful on YouTube, and I started to collaborate with those guys that I was and still am a fan of. And starting to get closer to those people and talk to them and discover that I have a similar or sometimes better level of comfort in my life than them, financially and otherwise.
Absolutely.
With much less work.
Yeah.
With much less work, not being someone's employee.
Ripped off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's why for people that, you know, go on a trip down memory lane, 2010s, everybody know I was in Fire from the Gods and all that. And that was the reason why I left, right? That was the band I was touring with. And they were like, hey, we want to go on a tour and do all this stuff. And I was like, guys, I don't think we're there yet. And financially, this seems irresponsible. I don't think this is the move. But they were hell bent on it. And I was like, all right, man, I can't do this. I bounce. And yeah, it's funny looking at it now because they went that traditional, like even when obviously after I left, and they had some solid success. Make no mistake, obviously people know that Fire went and did some solid things. I mean, our first album outsold theirs, but nevertheless, they went and still did some awesome things. We have it's no malice. It's funny. We did a show in Austin and they actually came to the show. Nice. It's no issues there, but I bring that up to say that they went the traditional route and financially they just never got there, even though they were seeing some success with I can't remember what, I think it was Rise. Who did they sign? I can't remember if it was Rise Records or Sumerian. I can't remember which one of those they ended up signing with, which I was just not gonna do that. I was just like, it said I just don't understand the point of it. This digital thing is kicking off. Why are we doing this? And
people watch it. People grew up watching that on movies, on TV, like what they watch Spinal Tap or whatever, and it's the dream. It's the ultimate rock star dream. That movie Rockstar is another one. Yeah. They read biographies, but they fail to realize that those biographies that they're reading were all about guys growing up in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
And the world doesn't work like that anymore.
Not even close.
For better or for worse. In my opinion, it's for the better. But it's very hard to change that mindset, that traditional music careers. And my parents were like that too. They were like, they had it in their minds that that's the way it was supposed to work. So I had like I had to convince my parents twice. First, to allow me to become a musician. And then that the route I was going to use to be a successful musician was the right one. So,
it's
very different.
It is very different. And those of us like yourself that were kind of privy to it and caught wind of it and understood, like, look, the game is not the way that it was. Y'all are basing y'all's model off of something that's archaic and broken. You reap the benefits from it. Like I did, you did, and that's just a reality. It's a really interesting thing though, that I still see some people, especially like around our age, that are still caught up in that. And like,
bro,
guys, I know people that you think they got millions of views, millions of streams, like, and they're broke.
Yeah,
they're broke, man. As a joke too, man. Like they are broke. Like some of your favorite, especially in metal, bro. Like some of your favorite artists are like
people
they got
you
no money.
know, people you at home know.
Yes,
it's like bro. I'm not gonna say names, but I have every single Brazilian metalhead here in the chat knows this person, famous person in Brazil and in the world. Probably dozens of albums, at least 24 albums. Asked me to lend him money.
Damn.
It's crazy, man. It's like I'm not saying this to grab. I don't have a lot of money. But it's like the people that you grew up listening and that you idolize and say, oh my God, this guy must live in a mansion. And it's like, that's not the reality.
No.
Because nowadays, like it was always like that, but much more nowadays, you're just an employee.
No.
You're just an employee if you go that route.
Man, it's no upward mobility, man. Like financially, especially, like it's a dead end, man. And it's funny. Like I remember when we were going on tour. I know Alex in the chat, he'll feel me on this. It's funny. We go on tour. We're on a couple of them, and again, the same thing. If you guys knew when we were on the tour scene for a little bit there, you know who we're talking about. All these guys who we were technically, I don't think we were technically the opener. I can't remember if we were the opener or we were the second. We were the second band that performed. I can't remember, but we weren't the headliners. Those headliners were broke. Co-headliners, they ain't had no money. They looking at us. We had a van souped up, and they're like, "How the hell do y'all get that?" And I'm like, "How don't you have it? You have y'all supposedly have more, sales, or I think." Than we do. At least your music videos have your second or third band. It was like second or third. We weren't the opener, so we were like the second or third band on this. But we weren't the headliner. I say that because we weren't the headliner. We're touring, but we weren't the headliners. And these guys were like, they didn't have no money. And they were asking me. They look at get on our bus, asking us how we were able to afford it. And so
they have a lot of hits, they have a lot of sales, but that sort of that stuff is probably going through so many middlemen.
Oh yeah,
so many middlemen before it gets to them, and they don't even know what those middlemen do, and it's just bad business.
Yeah.
Strategy, and then just not seeing themselves as businessmen. Primarily,
that's the problem, right?
That's the main thing.
Yeah, because they think that they're oh man, dude, tell me about it. Like especially in our community, like metal. Oh God,
There's a
Like,
lot of
it's-
anti-capitalism in that view. Like, I don't want to dirty my hands with business. I don't want to taint my friendships with contracts. It's like as if that was something evil.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's all for the art of it, and this is what we're supposed to do. And I'm like, no, this is all
as if the business was going to corrupt the art,
right?
When it's actually going to enhance it.
Yes, it's going to complement.
It's going to empower it.
Yeah, yeah. I got just tell me about it, man. These guys in this community, but I'm like, dude, what are y'all doing, man? And then they get mad at us because we focus on these things. And like I said, it was a real big fallout when I first left Fire. For you guys that remember that, how big that fallout was, it wasn't just because they re-recorded a fucking song that I wrote. That was part of it, but it was more like how people thought they tried to frame it, and like I was the bad guy because I was like, and they would brag about it. I would hear these cats brag about getting on a bus with 6-7 cats and it breaking down in the middle of a desert in Arizona or some shit. And they look at that like a badge of honor. I look at it like you're retarded.
I know what you mean.
Like, I'm like, you're stupid.
This is Marxist culture. The Marxists use their faults as virtues.
Yeah.
And they hate you for your virtues.
Yeah. Good way to put it. It's crazy.
It's Marxist culture, anti-capitalism, and it's like wearing your shortcomings as a badge of honor.
Yeah,
I heard that a lot too from like projects that I worked with. I did a lot of jobs as a session singer before my channel caught on, and I had people exactly as you said, bragging for not having money. It's like, we're not Iron Maiden. Like, so we do this for the love. That was the exact phrase.
Yeah.
That was the exact phrase.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you the exact quote. We're not Iron Maiden. We do this for the love. Like, wouldn't you put money into something you love? Wouldn't you do everything that you can to enhance and empower and bring that art that you claim to love forward?
Yep.
Clearly, you don't love your art enough to be a good businessman. Yeah.
Actually invest in it, because like you said, that's going to do nothing but enhance it. It like allows you to take your music to your art, right, to the next level if you have some sort of financial sense. So it's not a negative thing, but that's what happened in it wasn't obviously just metal, a lot of rock based stuff, which I think it's a lot of anti-metal metal guys. And what I mean by that is these guys aren't fucking metal at all. Like they're fucking poses.
We discussed this last time.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on our stage. It's a lot of that.
Anti-metal.
It's like the anti-metal guys, right? And then you have obviously from the I more or less kind of expected more, even though you shouldn't, because you look at like Johnny Rotten and all those guys, Ramones and how some of those guys that came from the more punk side of it, they aren't the OGs, at least aren't like Marxists, but after that first wave, a lot of those guys trended towards leftism, like the punk rock guys, which is against the establishment, unless the establishment is socialist, and then it's like then it's all good.
It's crazy.
A lot of that, whole lot of that rock I've seen. It's just man, a lot of those guys aren't doing well financially. It's unfortunate. Okay, let me try to power through some of these. I appreciate y'all joining us, man. We're talking all things music.
Oh yeah.
Single, Glorious Death. Be sure to go buy it if you have not purchased the track. There's a lot of the super chats that are echoing that sentiment there. Brian with a 20 says, great song. Glad you like it. You can buy like 20 songs with that $20, by the way.
Hey.
So take that for whatever way that you may. Buy the track. It's $1 and some change. That's what I'm saying. That's it. Just $1.
Yeah, man.
That's $1. Even for less than what he spent on his super chat, you can get this track. So yeah. Naganal with the 5 says, shout out you guys. Y'all freaking killed it. Just bought on iTunes. Let's go.
Nice.
Appreciate that. Let's go. Love to see you here, man. As always, says make it chart. We need the EP. That's your way. If you want an EP, Norfrica EP from myself and Dan. That's how you make it happen.
Interest.
Yes. You
That it
get the
charts.
single, you help
Yeah.
it chart. We'll do it. We'll work on an EP. That's just how it works. So someone said I can only buy physical media. Well, vinyl. There's a vinyl. Rippaverse.com. Go to it. There's a vinyl if you want that.
Physical.
Yes, it's about as physical as it gets.
Yeah.
There's a vinyl that you can get of the single. 2 versions of them that you can get of the single over at Rippaverse.com. It's in the description. There.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
mastering by Tony Lindgren specifically for vinyl.
Or the
we
vinyl.
forgot to mention that. We just not slap the master like on the vinyl, the regular master. Tony did a master specifically optimized for the medium of vinyl playing.
Let's go.
It's just we
Let's
didn't
go.
just copy and paste it.
Yeah, it's not just some bullshit. So
Yeah.
shout out. Swin, my whole band's here. Robbie,
Hey.
our drummer, backwards drummer, Robbie Rosales says,
What's
Eric
up,
and Dan,
man?
I just jammed this gym. Congrats to both of you. This track kicks ass. Shout out.
Let's go,
He's
man.
the jacked drummer that you guys see in all of our backwards music. Shout out to Robbie.
Nice.
Yeah, I got
Thanks,
a call.
man.
I got a call to return to you, man. So shout out Robbie. Whole gang's here. So Alex here, everybody, whole band's here. Defender 99 with a 10 says, I was disappointed when Dan wasn't cast as live action Yaira. Wow. Says, but I guess the collab will have to do. Yeah, he just has the hair like her.
Gotta, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta do the blonde hair.
Yeah. Diane with a 2. Appreciate that. We got Scott Killingsworth with a 5. Sonic Badassery. My good sir says thank you for this song and we'll love to hear more. Yeah, that's what
Thank you.
seems to be the general consensus of that. Hey man,
Yeah,
y'all
man.
can't just
I
stop
love
there.
hearing people talking about like putting it on their gym playlist, that sort of stuff,
yeah.
saying that it's very motivational and
Just
stuff.
cold.
That's what I love to hear, man. I don't know what you think about this.
Mm-hmm.
But and I might be wrong about this because there's something a lot of diversity on how you express feelings through art. But I don't like when I do art and it's like music and whatever else. I don't like to share my faults through my art. I like to share my virtues. I like to share stuff that will help the person who's consuming what I did.
Yeah, that was kind of the issue with some of like the more emo metal shit. Like
Yeah.
it was too.
It's
And
like
it really-
you're venting.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
using me as your therapist.
Yeah. Good point.
I'm your customer, not your
Yeah.
therapist. I don't know, man. There's a market for it for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like I don't like it. I don't like to do it. I'm more careful nowadays about the type of lyrics that I cover.
I think that's just natural as you age, man. Like
Yeah.
you kind of do that because now
Yeah.
more than ever. I mean, lyricist, that's always been obviously my specialty there, but like being more cognizant and aware, kind of what type of, not just what you're consuming, because man, music is a weird thing, man. Like I mean, I know it's like scientists have tried to figure this out, but it does something to you, right? It has
Yeah.
a way of
What's the logic of a combination of sounds
yeah,
literally controls what you feel?
yeah,
No words.
yeah. It's crazy.
Without words, no words needed.
It's crazy. So understanding that, I've been more
And
cognizant.
there are repeatable patterns. It's not random.
Yeah. No.
You
Yeah,
can
you're right.
learn to utilize those patterns and manipulate the listener's feelings however you want.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. But yeah, I like the idea, and that makes me feel good when I heard people say, I hear this track and I'm ready to take on the day. I got people say, I don't even need coffee today. I got it. This is the track. This coffee.
Yeah.
I like that. I love that. I love
I
that so
love
much.
it, man. That's the goal for me.
Yeah.
I want to
love it.
share. I want to share strength, not weakness.
I feel you on that. Jeremy with a 20 says, hell bumping Glorious Death all day, driving around El Paso. Shout out. Says, give this song to chart. We need more. You heard it.
Let's go.
You heard the man. You could have bought 20 singles with that 20. So go grab it. Rippaverse.com/Norfrica. You can get the single, and that counts towards the charts. So go get that thing. We got Demi Storm with a 10 says, message from Wendy, who can't be here. Says, thanks to Rippa for reposting her stuff on X, and to the boys. And what can I say? Brilliant, epic, both single and video. I appreciate that. And big shout out to you, Demi. Aussie. Shout out. Much love. DJ with a 10 says man buns are not masculine. Dan Vasc should be ashamed. He says,
hey, it's called man buns. So if you weren't masculine, we called women buns.
Vanak with a 20 says I saw the video and it was rad, amazing collab. I love it. Like the collab with Thundercat and Tame Impala. Thinking of doing a collab with Body Count. People have asked us to collaborate with like those guys forever. Ice-T's band, for people that don't know who Body Count is, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there was like maybe a festival or something that we may have did that they were on, that Body Count was on. I can't remember. But I haven't like just thought about doing it.
You support festivals and play live with Backwards?
Yeah, I mean, we've done like South by. So what I know was one that we did a lot. That's the Dallas version of that, and there were a lot of like random big bands that were on that, and there's some other various like cool festivals and stuff that we did when we were like, that was like 2017, 2018 days when we were like actually on the roll, like doing stuff. So
man, yeah, I don't play live since the lockdowns.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
I mean, it's been about that long for us. I mean, the last one that I can remember we did was when Brian joined the band, and I can't remember when that was. I think it was in San Antonio. I can't remember what year that was. I think it might have been before lockdowns too. So yeah, it's inevitable. I know people want us to get back on the road. Hopefully this, like, we'll see what happens with Norfrica. Maybe there's some opportunity there, and maybe we get back on the road and start doing some shit. I'll be down. 1,000% down to perform any of these tracks.
That would actually make it easier to get a visa.
Yeah, yeah, because you're working. Because
I'm going to work.
Yeah, you're working. Yeah, make it happen, guys. Just keep buying singles and yeah. I'll be down to tour. I'll be down to go on a run with Dan and do some Norfrica stuff. That'd be
legally
sick. That'd be sick. DJ said Saskas would have a good run with Saoirse murdering a pedo ring, kind of like what Black Widow did. Yeah, but I think it's outside their wheelhouse. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do that. If you read No Restraints Play, they have a specialty for killing pedophiles in their books. The Sick and Tigs with a 5 said, yeah. The Sick and Tigs with a 5 says Norfrica monthly podcast win. Y'all are at home talking metal. Yeah, I know, and I agree. Like some of my favorite shows that I did were with Dan, and we were just talking like music and metal and shit. And I love that. Yeah. Like that. I'm 100% game. It says I love to see some behind the scenes on the next video. It sounded awesome on my system in my Jeep. Yeah, like we talked about maybe going through the track and doing some. There'll be plenty of cool little streaming opportunities.
There's a lot to dissect if you guys want. If you guys want the autistic stuff, yeah, we can go there.
Yeah, I'd be a 1,000,000% game for something like that. But yeah, like talking, I don't know, like maybe that is something we can look into. Like me and Dan just chatting every now and then, because yeah, it is cool to just.
I mean, it comes naturally.
Yeah. Because it's like it's our wheelhouse, bro.
We didn't even set any topics.
We just said let's go.
Bullet points, yeah.
Just talking. Yeah, this is so it does come natural. I agree. Like maybe there is something that we can do there. Dorothy became a new member. Appreciate that. Welcome. Jake says, "What would it take for a Rippaverse metal cast?" Interesting.
You guys will very quickly discover that I picked 4 or 5 bands in my 20s, and I don't listen to anything else.
Well, no, I mean it's nothing wrong with that, because like it kind of, I think that happens, man. Definitely. Yeah. Like for me, obviously I have my 80s stuff that I listen to all the time, but like I have my bands that I will listen to that they're not even performing. Like for today, like Christian metalcore band, they don't perform anymore. I'm listening to them all the time. Like I don't care. Like I will listen to every album that they drop.
Bro, there's so many good Christian metal bands out there. Yeah. There's the OGs, the Petras and Stripers.
Okay, can't go wrong with that.
World. Yeah. Yo, The Michael Sweet from Striper followed me on Instagram.
Oh, sick.
A couple months ago.
That's sick.
Yeah, man.
That's hella sick.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, but for today, I mean, it was a bunch of like, definitely in the core scene, like a bunch of like during that time, like just so many Christian metalcore. Like again, you had For Today, August Burns Red was another big one. Who else?
POD,
there was Prada. Oh yeah, POD. Yeah, you can't.
Demon Hunter.
Oh, Demon Hunter. Absolutely, can't go wrong. Fucking they go so fucking hard.
Cutlass.
Man. Yeah.
Cutlass it's more light.
Yeah.
More pop, but it's good. They have some heavy stuff too.
Yeah.
What else? 1,000 Foot Crutch.
Oh, 1,000 Foot Crutch. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Throw up your rock fist. No.
Let's go. 1,000 Foot Crutch, man. I need to put that back in the rotation. I haven't listened to that in a while. Some of that in a while.
Bro, I remember listening to that on Windows XP on Winamp.
Let's go. Oh, Winamp.
Winamp playing 1,000 Foot Crutch on my cheap piece of crap speakers on Windows XP, playing that pinball Windows game.
Let's go.
Class, pretending I was sick. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, like that was this is like definitely just from that era. So much that had that come out. I know from the core, like I said, those are easy ones. Like Prada. There was Prada. Who else was it? I mean, everybody. There was a lot of that guys that had Christian influence.
Pillar. The chat says.
Yeah.
Pillar's so good, man.
As I Lay Down before the other singer tried to kill his wife or whatever happened with that guy. But yeah, someone brought Fit for a King. It's a personal friend of mine. Shout out. There's a video out there for you guys that don't know. I performed Jake from August Burns Red's song part with Fit for a King during one of their tours, because he had hit me up. Ryan Kirby, shout out. Said,
nice.
What you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, I will fucking do it. And yeah, I gotta find it out there. But yeah, I performed Jake Lewis from our August Burns Red's part on their collaborative song. And that's awesome. I had a lot of fun doing that. Big shout out Ryan, though. Good people.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I had a similar experience too with the Petra singer John Schlitt. It's like we sang Beyond Belief on my channel. And it's like, I think it was 40 years after he recorded that song. No, not 40, 30. 30 years after he recorded that song. It was crazy. It was crazy. And the guy was singing it on the same key and everything.
He can still hit it. Yeah, man. That's always awesome to
that was huge to me, because that was the band that made me decide to become a singer. Imagine that. Having the guy who's responsible for your career. Bro.
It'll get better than that, man.
It's one of my favorite career moments.
Doesn't get better than that. Stuff. We got Brian Marshall says with a 10, mixing was outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Glad you like Dan here, because Dan, that's the guy. He's the one that mixed it. So
I did it. Yeah, man. In regards to mixing, it's so accessible to learn nowadays. It's like
that's especially why this whole label rock shit doesn't make sense anymore. It's like everything's decentralized now. You can record and mix a professional level track for a fucking fraction of whatever the hell they're paying.
Bro, there are services out there that's like, I'm blanking on the name now. It's good. If they want me to mention their name, they should pay me. But it's a service that's kind of a Netflix of mixing tutorials. So what that company does, they bring the original engineer to break down the project of the song and mix it all over again in front of you. And you pay like a monthly fee, and you have access like to classics, like mainstream stuff, Green Day, Iron Maiden. You get to see those songs that you listened to for years being mixed in front of you. So awesome.
That's sick.
I used a lot of that.
That's sick. Okay, what else we have? We have CJ released a full album and CD with both of your autographs. Well, you're talking about as like if we hit what is it, 300,000 plus chart.
Oh,
Maybe.
is that what you mean?
Yeah, maybe. Shout out CJ, man. Love to see you. Dan, next time I want to hear your guttural screams.
I've done it in a couple songs.
Yeah.
I managed to fit it in a Christmas song once.
Let's go.
A lot of old ladies were mad. I did. And since then I've been doing it. If you know our community, like when you get mad at us for doing things, we're
gonna do more of it.
That poor motherfucker who complained that I talk about retro games too much on TNME. Now he created a whole side of my personality. Now,
oh, I love it, man. No, it's yeah, it is. Everybody has their like specialties and like.
Bro, I have to do so many takes to do it. And it's it has to be just perfect.
Yeah, definitely. If you're coming from, that's a difficult leap. Like definitely if you're like jumping from screaming or from singing to that. That's how I generally record. I'll do my cleans, more cleaner stuff before I do the screams because like
I have to do it in another day.
Yeah,
I do it in another day.
You're gonna wear your voice out. That shit ain't easy, man. Like, shout out Melissa Cross though.
Stuff that I have a hard time with is that guttural screams. I have to do it in an entirely different day, and sometimes that day will be useless. I run that risk. Not being able to do it at all that day and just try again next day. Something else is my low range. I have to do it just as I woke up. Just after I woke up to make it sound with a lot of body and as best as possible. I just roll out of bed, don't even warm up the voice, and just record it.
That's a cool way to do it. Well, yeah, like just because my voice is fucking deep, like that's easier for me. I'm actually singing out of my range on my bass, my like usual voice, because of that. Like but yeah, like this, like I'm the opposite in that. To get up there, like I have to go for a while, like in order for me to like that when I did that when I did that part, like I think that was after the screams even. Like I had to be fucking warm, bro, to get up there, man, like that and do that. So it's cool to see like everybody's like process. That's why I love working with other vocalists because everybody did. Our engineer, shout out Corey. Corey is he's also a singer as well. He did a track with his
nice
with his band that you guys could go check out that I'm featured on. But yeah, like he's one of those engineers, one of the most talented dudes I know. And Alex is in the chat. He'll fill me on this.
That's usually engineers. That's usually music producers.
This fucker
they can do everything.
He will be like, oh no, we're laying it down. The key, maybe where me and Alex is like with the key that we're trying to find is like we're struggling. He will come from behind the desk, get into the booth, lay the shit down like that. It's like this is where we need to be, and he'll do it. He'll just do it like one take, like just press the space bar. I got it. All right, bam, and he'll just lay it down like one take. Like, this is where okay, I got you. So it'll
like
help
that.
us out.
All right.
He's like fucking crazy good, man. At everything, really, like fucking guitar
That's
too.
Awesome,
like,
man.
Just all around dude. Alex said, meanwhile, we recorded our first our first album's vocals in 2 days. You're not wrong. But I'm like that. I'm a one take Jake kind of guy. And some of the backward stuff that you've heard, there are like half verses that I just did one fucking take,
bro.
Like no joke like that. I'm a one take Jake kind of guy. Yeah,
and
he's
that
right.
comes that's like comfortable for you. You don't.
Yeah,
do it,
like just lay it.
Don't do
like,
it because you have to. You're comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's like bam.
I'm the opposite, man.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. When I spent, and it was a nightmare when I had to release one video per week, and I did that for like 3 to 4 years. it was a nightmare, man, because I'm such a perfectionist, and I laid down some takes that I knew that they weren't optimal. I could do better, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to do it as I wanted to. And
makes
but
sense.
now that's why I released the so little, because I just like to
You can get the
marinate.
song right. You can get it right. You can
I
get it
like
right.
to marinate on it. But it's still true that what George Lucas said about movies is also true about music and most forms of art, really. You don't finish it, you give up on it.
Yeah.
You just have to give up on it, because you can keep improving it and improving it and improving it, and it comes to a point that you're just changing stuff. You're not improving it anymore, and then you improve that which you changed, and it never ends. You have to give up and understand that this is not necessarily your magnum opus. There's gonna be other stuff after that, and if you don't output, what is art for? It's useless.
Yeah, exactly. You got to put it out at the end
a
of the
balance.
day. Yeah, it is a balance. You want to do your best job, but you got to put it out. And I guess some songs call for it too. Like for this one, for example, for Glorious Death, for sure, it took me a few takes to get the cadence right. Probably more than a few. Because I remember
probably a cadence that you're not used to.
I'm not.
It's never used in modern styles of music, which is 6/8 pattern.
Right.
Like it's not 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. It's like da 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 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's like 6/8.
You're right.
That's like for medieval music and like this specific sort of Viking epic metal, power metal stuff.
Right.
I never heard that in a modern metal song.
Yeah, like no. Like that was a challenge, dude. Like, because I remember doing the first takes, I was like, okay, I made my decision that I'm not just gonna go straight into more like straight yelling for the verses. I did it real. My first original takes were like really clean. Like I was singing like really clean. Like it wasn't like again the grit wasn't really in it, and I didn't like it. So I laid that first. I was trying to get my cadence right, like because again I don't sing like that all the time. And it took me probably like 4 legit takes before I got it. Like I was like, okay, this is how it's going to sound. This is how I'm as Takhari. This is how I'm going to sing as him. But yeah, that was a process. It was fun. It was challenging. Like I said, it was a process because I don't do that as much. Like, and especially like, again, in the pattern that we're doing, because I was trying to match that, like from what you were doing, like, and how you were doing. I was like, okay, let me do it in this pattern to really land this. And yeah, it was different, but it was fun. It was challenging. And I had a lot of, I can't say that enough, in that it was challenging. When I say it was challenging in a good way. And
that's interesting that you tried to clean, and
I did. It was very. I should send you the takes. It was very clean. Like I tried it like very.
And you thought,
and I was like, nah, I just didn't like. It was the same, and I was singing it the same way. Like it's that babe. It's so much. I was singing it like the same way, but it was like really, really clean, and like it was really like the vibrato was like really extra. And I was like, I don't like it. So I was like,
because even when the song was kind of slow and I was like in a lower octave, I wasn't singing clean.
Right.
When I was singing low, I wasn't singing clean. I was actually, in fact, there's another thing. That's something I can say for myself that didn't make the cut as well. I was trying to get some Mongolian throat singing on that song.
Yeah. I can see that.
I was like, I've been training Mongolian throat singing for years, man, and I just cannot make it like sound stable. I can do it sometimes with a little bit of luck, but I can make a long sound stable. But I did a little bit. I was able to interject a little bit of it on that first verse, on that part. I can feel in it.
Yeah.
I can feel it. It burns. Then I go up.
Yeah.
And it's like right now I'm not warmed up, but it's sort of like like that part of Enter Sandman from Metallica. Hush, little baby.
Yeah.
Hush, that sounds like shit now. Hush, little baby. Don't say a word. You see, it doesn't sound stable. But when I'm warmed up, I can say like a couple words.
You were landing it like
I was
heard
able to
takes.
sing a couple words that.
Yeah, and that's how you do it though. Like that's the way that it's not necessarily like you do the whole thing that way, but you were able to like I can feel like you had it. You were like, and then like again, by the way, guys, you're vocal. It's not easy to go from that to up there is and actually hit the fucking note. It's is difficult, and he did it like that. I love that part at the end of each
many tries.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like,
I'm not embarrassed to say it, man. I record and re-record. I try until I get it.
Yeah, to get up there, to go down there, and then go from like that to burns like fire, like that. That's not easy, but you pulled it off, and I absolutely fucking love it. Like how you did it. And like
people
I
are mentioning in the chat the Who. I would love to cover the Who, man. That was primarily why I was trying to learn. You know the band the Who? It's like
I know what you're talking about.
WHO. It's like HU.
Yeah.
It's I would love to do some culture appropriation on that. That would be awesome.
Yeah. That is but that wasn't easy. What you were doing in those verses were, and I love that you kept it kind of consistent. You went in the second verse and you did a similar thing, but you were basically octave up because you went like to the like
initially the first take I sent you, I was already one octave up the whole time, and then I went another octave. Then I went like, no, I can be more dynamic than that.
Right.
I would start like I basically went 3 octaves. I start low, go medium, and then end high, because that what we were discussing before, taking the listener in a journey throughout the song, treating it as a narrative.
Right. No, I mean, it's the way that you did it, and you showing how dynamic you were, obviously, as a vocalist. It was perfect for especially an original song. Like it's one thing to show out, and we both done a million covers, right? Show out on someone else's work, but it's another to like when it's yours. And so it's your version of it. It's no comparison, right? Like if anything, you're comparing yourself to yourself. If any, because like you said, you had like a couple of different takes where you sung it in one way and sung it in one. It's like I did with the clean. Like I was singing. I gotta see you I'm sure Corey has those. I know he does. I send you the Uber. Like when I say it was clean. Like there was no grit, no strain at all. Like I was singing it like I would, like I was in a choir, like I was just singing it like clean, like really, really, and I was really emphasizing
worlds collide.
Yeah, worlds collide. I was like really clean, and I was like exaggerating the not vibrato. Today. Well, I was like singing it very clean. I was like, because it's so punchy. Like your part of the verse is like, you hear more of the bass, and then like you hear more of the full song, right? When my part kicks, I was like, it's got to be a little more aggressive. So I was like, all right, let me redo this. And I was like, all right, let me give it another shot. And I finally got to where I was like, okay, this is how I think the character should sing.
Yes.
And so bam, I finally laid it down. That's a great
line of thinking about the character. And that we go back to the subject of humility. Like, this is not me singing here.
Yes, exactly.
This is Validan singing.
Exactly.
And it's it's an extra layer of challenge. You mentioned that second verse. It's a bay, the savage mindset, not today. Did you see what I did on not today?
Yeah.
Not today. I went like, that was an accident.
Oh, word.
Because you forgot, like on the first verse, you were like, worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side. You sent me the doubles.
Oh, I did.
The guttural doubles.
Yeah.
And I put them one on in each side on the mix, and it sounds like just more than one person singing.
Yeah.
And it's like, but on that second verse, you forgot to send me the same thing.
Yeah, I did.
And I was like, on that part, I was like, now I got to do something here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I would just interject Validan here, singing along with him.
Yeah.
So that worked out perfectly,
cool.
And it was like it was not the same repeated thing that the first verse.
Right. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's sick. Yeah. Fucking, it's probably all sorts of, like I said, we really went through
a lot of stuff in music is like it's the moment, man. It's,
yep. You're
it's
right.
accidents, it's opportunity. It's there's a lot of little stories like that.
And yeah, it's like, whew, man, because like you could tell, like that by that last scream that I did, like going into that last hook, that like I was like, all right, this is my last scream of the day, right? I am going to try to fucking show out on that one part. And like I said, I'm also screaming not like how I would scream it if I was just Eric July backwards, right? But yeah, I was like, all right, I'm gonna lay it all out there, and I'm gonna try to scream this in this way. I did not know if that was gonna work or sound like shit when I did it, but it worked. It worked coming into that powerful last hook. But yeah, that was my last scream of the day. I don't know if I would even had another one in me.
That's awesome.
After that, like, and I love how the animators had. Like really, how they had awesome. To kind of like, like fucking like going nuts. Hair's all fucking sick.
It's often when your best material shows up by that time of the session.
Yeah.
At the end of the session, of the recording session, your best material starts like there's a sweet spot around there. Right. Some of the more primal stuff starts showing up. There's a lot of. As we're talking right here, I don't realize. I actually remember because I always said that. There's a lot of acting in singing, right? Because sometimes you have a set of songs that you have to sing in a gig, and you're not feeling what the song conveys. Maybe it's about even a subject that you never experienced.
Right.
Like, I don't know, the death of a spouse, a song about the death of a spouse, or a song. I never almost died. So, A Glorious Death is a song about dying.
Yeah.
And then, but it's like you have to put yourself in that situation. It's like, how would I act?
Yeah.
In that
it is.
And that
it's a double whammy with us because we're like literally acting as characters in a comic book universe as well, right? And that, again, that's why I keep going back to the cadence, because it's like I want it how I enunciate things. I want it to be different from how I do it, like as Eric July backwards, right? And that was one of the things I was really working hard on. We spent the first half of that session. That was really what I was doing. I was trying to find Takhari's voice. I was like, let me do these takes,
find the voice,
and figure out how do I envision this guy sounding, right? Looking at how he looks, and again, origin and all that. How does he look? It's obviously different for me. It's not me, right? It's not me at all. Like that would, and we're trying to have this immersive world and everything, and make these characters believable. So I have to sing this in a way that that reflects that. So even in how I enunciate, like it's just different. It's just different from how I scream, different how I sing, and all that was challenging, like I said. But it was a fun challenging, in that I feel like I came out of recording this song like a better artist, to me, just in having just all the challenges that were associated with just doing it, and it was still fun.
That's awesome, man. That's fantastic.
Okay, we have Astro Zombie with the 20 months says, love a new song, bro. It's giving me a mix of you guys' personality sprinkled with backwards a dose of Sabaton. I can dig that. Yeah. Says, well, fucking done, gentlemen. Well, I'm glad you like it, Astro Zombie, and I'm glad all the people that, again, fans of our other work, that like that you enjoyed it as well. Because again, especially that breakdown part, I was like, okay, I know a lot of people that are fans of me are gonna come for that part of the song, right? So I was like trying to figure out how to weave that in there in a way that was, again, unique to the character that I'm portraying, but it services that person that like will
it's your thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's what's
So,
expected. From you.
exactly. So I think we had that nice little balance there where we're doing something new, we're doing something unique, doing something for the character, but also, we're servicing our fans like that
Yeah.
have maybe been familiar with some of our work. And I think that's what, again, just the earlier super chatters, like that's what makes it such a unique. It's not a project that can really be replicated. Like it's very much us. You know what I mean? So
Agreed.
it's cool. Really cool. Glenn with a 5 says you guys smashed this out of the park. Absolutely fantastic. Both amazing. Dan says Katrina. Well,
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Where's Britannicus? Eric, I told you years ago to never do an in-canon Norfrica song. What have you done? Where will you put all the racks of cash? Bravo, sir. Well, hey man, I love for this to turn into something even better. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the single. Again, purchase the single. That'll go a long way in seeing that this chart. So me and Dan have an excuse to do more work.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see where that goes because yeah, I can imagine us, getting a band together and fucking doing a couple of live shows here as well. I would love to perform that fucking song live. I would love to I think performing Glorious Death live would be a fucking treat, man.
Bro,
I would have
it's such an anthem, like
to
be sang by a lot of people. That would be something to behold.
That would be cool. Maybe we got to make that happen, y'all. Brian with a 10 says lyrics remind me of a psalm, enticing lyrics matched with superb lyrical and instrumental execution. Yeah, I think lyrically this is just an uber solid song.
There's a lot of themes like that in the Bible, like going to your end.
Yeah, most definitely.
We just like unapologetically and without fear.
Peyton with a 5 says, super psyched for this book. I'm naming my hunting bow Validan. Let's go. Subject to change if this bow turns out to have a name of its own. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that. Hey, big shout out to you.
Weapons with names.
Yes. Paid sellers, man. Much love to
Bro,
you.
That's funny. That's funny that you gave me that character to interpret because I think I mentioned that to you before. I've been mistaken for Scandinavian a lot because for some reason I think the Portuguese accent reminds people of the Scandinavian accents.
Yeah.
I've been mistaken as Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish. It's interesting.
It is cool.
So I'm just using my accent.
Yep. Mike has bad news with a 5 says someone else said it, but good point. Gotta have this as a live performance. Dan, get to America. Like I said, I'd be down to do that, man. Like I said, we justify an EP, do a run based on the EP. Yeah. Like I'm game. 1000% I'm game. Jake with a 2 says, I just crowd killed my entire house. He's hardcore. Definitely on that even the hook, like the hook, if you are. Well, you be crowd killing on the part that we screamed, but for you guys that are like hardcore guys, like that hook is one you can like bounce to, man. Like it's
I love
so
our
good.
our different approaches to headbanging show on that video. I'm going like with the hair, and you're like more grooving and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like grooving, like it's all hardcore and shit. Yeah. The singing Tiggs with a 2 says, "Ass Beardo." He keeps his neck. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Singer Tiggs. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Giovanicius, Chris Bellarius, Darcilius Maximus says with with 24 months. I probably butchered that name. Professor X, my man, with a 20 says, it was so cool when I realized the lyrics matched up with ISOM #1. Yeah, I saw y'all picking up on that. It's really, really cool. On top of everything else, is obvious why you're so excited to work each day when you're sitting on goodies like this for over 3. Yeah, man, it's look, I enjoy what I do. To be able to do something like this again, it's original work, and it's always fun to collaborate with awesome people as well. So yeah, I'm having a blast. There's no secret. I'm having an absolute blast with everything.
And bro, your attention to detail was very cool. I don't know if it was Professor X that said that on Twitter, that you could have been, you could easily like forget that it's just a couple panels.
Right.
You could have buried that, and it's just like whatever, just some random song they were singing. And we I don't know, we did something else.
Right.
But it's like you wanted to make sure that we used that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's an in-universe song that was happening there, in that part of the story that exists in that universe. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and big shout out to Evan Mike, he's in the chat. But yeah, like it was the thing I love about it, because even I did it. I went back and rewind the song was first done, and I went back and like actually read it, and it's like you can now hear the song in your head that they're playing.
And you know what else? The crowd going on sort of a mosh pit.
Yeah.
After the go.
Yeah, the go. So it's like rowdy, like it would be.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. In the song.
It's in the next page. He says go.
Yeah.
And then on the next page, they're jamming.
Yeah. They're in a
punching
pit.
each other. Yeah. So it's like now you can see that and you can imagine.
Yep. That's the part where everybody's getting down. So yeah, man. I fucking love it. I love it. Yeah, man. It's continuity thing.
That was something else. That was something else that led me to suggest that this should be a part C.
Yeah, and I remember you bringing that up. Yep, you were right. You were like, you were like,
hey, I said, hey, they're going on a mosh pit after that.
Yeah,
that is usually after a part C, sort of an apis of the song. Great stuff, man.
So good, man.
Now we can read that and just hear the song.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Shout out Professor X. Thank you so much. We got Jerry with a 10 says, Hell Sir Ripper and Sir Dan. Very impressive as a musician myself. I tell my hat with the energy you put in. The Sith Lord poet says, to see music spell, watch it burn through the fires of hell. Peace. Shout out Jerry B. Seals. Appreciate you being here. Giants Bleed says, my coworker and I listened all day. Keep listening, keep jamming.
Nice.
Buy it, and yeah, do your thing. Single. Shout out to my man's Ray. Know him personally. Dude I used to actually be in a band with when I was in Corpus. So shout out Ray Roberts. Crazy good vocalist, man.
Nice.
Single sounds are absolutely sick, bros. Actually, Ray is how I met Alex. Says we need more collabs. Also, that vinyl looks dope. Shout out Ray, man. Good to see that you're doing well. Rachel with a 5 says a glorious collab indeed. You guys have set the bar high with this awesome single. Thank you also for an informative live stream. Yeah, we've been nerding out talking music. I saw Alex say it in the chat. It's like anybody that's like privy to this is like these guys are nerds.
Yeah. Indeed, in many aspects. And it's like that's true. It's kind of set the bar very high.
It is. So now like every song we gotta we're gonna have to come with it. So yeah, it's gonna be a little fun little thing. Norfrica cards, collectors and players alike. Perhaps, yes, you did pick up on that rhetoric on the Dogeman card. It's $500,000 though, so it's gonna take a little bit to get there. Shout out Ripper Guy. Much love to you. Jerry became a member. Roaring Steel Media says Eric, July, and Dan are the new Sabaton. I did not have that on my 2025 bingo card, but I love it. Awesome song. You guys crushed it. Hey, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man. Hey, that comparison's an honor.
I'll take it. I'll take it any day.
Hey, Rippa,
any day. Yeah.
Those milestones are just for the pre-order campaign, or are they in perpetuity?
Just for the pre-order campaign. Just for the pre-order. It's a long time. We got 85 days or something like that. So we got plenty of times. That's over 2.5 months. So we got plenty, almost 3. So we got plenty of time to hit that.
It's like it's limited. So if you're like,
that's true.
I'll buy it in 6 months.
No, you don't want to do that. If you want to hit those milestones, you want to get it within the window. Get it for pre-order. So yeah. Craig says, when does the tour start? It says I come to New York. I've got a sick venue ready and waiting. Like I said,
really?
The demand will be up to you guys. You know, you keep purchasing it, showing that you're really invested in it. Work game. Singles doing a freaking phenomenal.
Speak with your wallets.
Yes, that is the way to do it. Two Metalheads been excited about the track, says Jake Stanley. Yeah, man. This is a natural thing for us, natural conversation, because again, we fire on all cylinders and really all aspects musically as well as like again philosophically, and I think that's part of why this works so well. Jerry says also, when music hits your heart inside comes the fun part. For the rages of extreme fire, one full of passion and desire, a fuel for the soul, pushing you to achieve all your goals. Now stand the musician. Appreciate
I like how
that.
You started sort of like a rap song.
Yeah,
And you ended like Shakespeare.
Caught the wave. Yeah. Jose Ataco with a 2 says this is the first ever comic book soundtrack. I don't know. I mean, like
there have been comic books.
Yeah,
of like music albums,
like Coheed and
but
Cambria.
Albums of comic books.
Yeah, albums of. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Snex with a 2 says, will your vocal cords be able to cover Painkiller?
I would love to try it. I would love to try to give it a shot. I tweeted about it the other day.
Yeah.
Super high.
Nakana with a 2 said F it, and also bought the song on the website. Yeah, you can buy. Nothing stops you from buying it from multiple platforms. You got it on iTunes. You got it on Amazon.
You're buying it for your mom.
Just get the single.
Buy for your friends.
Wherever. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Fresh Pony with a 5 said, Ripper and Dan, you guys crushed it. Love the collaboration. Well,
thank you so much.
That. Thank you. Neo with a 10 says 10 Canadian says, thank you for blessing us with this beyond epic collaboration. You guys slayed. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Glad you liked it.
John's Bleed says, if you reach both goals, do one cover and one original EP. Well, we are gonna do some Manowar stuff. We already know that's gonna happen.
Rippa is gonna participate on my Manowar tribute album.
Yeah, so that's happening.
Confirmed.
There will be a cover that we will be on. So covers from Sabaton, Iron Maiden, Blind Guardian, man.
Blind Guardian is so good, man. And they're still killing it. They're still doing music like sounds pretty much like old school Blind Guardian to this day.
Man.
It's so good, man.
Yo, says Holy Dive. He already did I did Holy Dive too. But we can do it together, I guess.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean,
that makes sense.
That's one of my favorite songs of all time. So yeah, I'm game.
We could make like a heavy version in the veins of what is that band that covered it?
Oh, Killswitch.
Killswitch.
Fuck, that cover's so good. Yeah, Killswitch
it's very good, but it's like I think we can make it heavier.
Yeah, we could. We can always go heavier.
Yeah.
We could always make it heavier. But yeah, be game. Yeah, shout out Killswitch and Howard. Such a crazy good singer. Kiwi Classic with a New Zealand 2 says, awesome song, gave me an earworm. Great collab, you two. That's good. I love it.
It's kind of an earworm, right?
It did. That hook is, it is going to get in your head.
Very memorable, yeah.
Devon Sawyer with a 2 says, thanks for the metal magic, my neighbors. Thank you too. Break it all the way up to 10, baby. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Semi-unsafe volumes.
Yes. Johnny Red with a 10 said Rippaverse Records just rolls off. It does kind of just work. Rippaverse Records does kind of just work. Appreciate that, Johnny Red. Thank you. We got Walker Toxic Rangers, his influences. Falkenbach, Enslaved. Okay.
I don't know these ones.
Pie Wacket with a 5 says, thank you both for the epic song. Can never have just one copy, so I brought 20 Hey, you can do that. Preferred. Buy 20 copies. Preferred.
My goodness. Yeah. Distribute them on the street.
Yes. Give them out. Why not? The Siggy Tiggs with the 2 says, Eric, where's your cover of Dream On Iron Tree? I think it's actually behind.
I'm curious about
unlisted. It's either unlisted. I'm actually curious. Let me see where it's at. It was one of the first covers that I had ever.
And mine is old too.
Ever did. I did that January. 12 years. I'm looking at it right now. January of 2013.
Shit.
That's when I did it.
I think yours is older than mine.
Yeah, January 2013.
I
was still living in. I'm looking at it. I was still living in Corpus when I sang this. and I have my Islanders cross country shirt on. The little piano in the back. Damn, this is old, bros. This is old. Shout out Yellow Flash in the chat. Go get Mighty. Go
What's
to
up,
Patreon.
Yellow Flash?
Shout out.
Oh, mine is 11 years old.
Okay. So yeah, just right there.
Yeah.
We have Christina with a 20. Says amazing track. I don't even like comics, but the trailer and your energy is so infectious and epic. I need more. Hey, funds itself. Says just order the book collection. Let's go. And the single, let's go. Look, I love to hear that.
I see you getting that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the Rippaverse. My first comic was a Rippaverse book.
Yep. I love to hear that.
That's awesome.
That is absolutely awesome. So yeah, there's a lot of people that crosses over from that. I mean, that's kind of when you got your hands on a bunch of different shit. Like it kind of happens. Like you get some guys that know you for the music, some guys know you for the comics, some guys know you for whatever the hell, politics, whatever. So it's cool to see that this is bringing a lot of y'all together. And you know, talking everything Norfrica. That's what it's about. Appreciate that 20, and I appreciate you getting the books. We will not let you down. You're gonna love that book. Jake with a 2 says the band Non-Point doesn't get love. Non-Point gets love. Hey, Breed is from my area. Let's go. This is Udite with a 10. Says I bought the Under the Knife demo from Josta. Josta actually, he has some single. Alex, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if he's still in the chat. When we released Veracity, we were actually competing with him because he put out an album that week as well. On merch table 98 at L&G in New London, Connecticut. Says my first heavy concert. Cool to see them as an influence. Oh yeah, Hey Breed is can't go wrong with that, man. Bro, like even like some of the older stuff. I know they were like really they got more metal as they aged. Like it was really more just it was metal, but it was more hardcore kind of than it was just like straight metalcore. But yeah, like some of the newer stuff, like what was that? That once had a shotgun to my head that said I wasn't worth the bullets. Like it is so fucking that riff is like that. I love that damn song. Hey, Bree, bro, it was kind of Barrel Up Today. I think that's the name of the song. It is so fucking good. If you have not heard that by Hey Breed, it is heavy. Appreciate that. We have Walker Toxic Ranger with a 2 says, "What do you think of Lucana Coy?" I don't know
anything about them.
I'm not familiar with them. Catholics love orchestral rock and metal, just not during mass. Gregorian metal is some of my favorite music of all.
Gregorian metal.
Shout out Lady Gravemaster. Love to see you here.
Metal.
I can get down with that. These people don't know how talented Eric really is jamming on piano and guitar as well. Funny, Ray mentions that. So again, me and Ray used to do covers as well. Like me and shout out to Ray, we used to do covers when I was in college together. And yeah, I was playing guitar sometimes.
What did you major in?
Okay, I minored in music. I majored in communication.
Nice.
Yeah. And so yeah, we used to cover a bunch of stuff. And yeah, it's funny when him and I were in the band together, and I tell people all this all the time. Like I was a keyboardist.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was doing that. I was doing synth, like was a big it had a resurgence, right?
Singers have to learn how to play something.
Yeah.
And usually most out of necessity.
Yeah.
It usually happens.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Ray, man. The old homie Ray. And he can sing his ass off, man. Like Maldi with a 5 says, curiosity kills the cat. Are either y'all familiar with Protest? Here I am. They broke me out of 4-chord shell most rock bands adhere to.
4-chord shell.
199. Thank you. We got Johnny's with a 2. So hearing your 2 favorite musicians talk shop. Yeah. I can talk. We could sit here and talk metal all day long. Brian Godgen with a 2 says, now we need an instrumental for karaoke. I can dig that. I love to see y'all cover that. Demi Star with a 2 says, 10, excuse me, Dan is so right. The heart racing anticipation of the song, the total mind blowing release, and this dialogue we are experiencing right now is better than any live concert I've ever been to. Things have changed. Like you have different ways as a musician to connect with your audience. And I think that's the big disconnect between guys that are still trying to do it the traditional way versus like guys that have become more privy to like what access you have in the digital world alone. So I feel you on that.
But also back in the day, there had to be a connection as well.
Yeah,
it's like it's not it usually happens that the guys who try to go the traditional way nowadays, they're like, okay, I'm not gonna generate that connection online. Okay, so then you have to find another way to do it. So if you're not going to generate a connection with your audience the internet way, and you're not even gonna do it the old school way, like in person there with them, then you're fucked. You have no community. You have no audience, because music nowadays is cheap. It's so cheap.
It's accessible as hell.
When people buy music nowadays, they're buying a connection. They're buying a message.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. They're buying an idea, they're buying a brand. Music, just music, like computers do music nowadays.
Yeah.
Music has never been cheaper, so you gotta sell something along with your music.
I made this point about the comic stuff too. Like, you gotta sell something else. Is how I always word it. You have to sell something else. It's not just that, because it's so wide and in abundance, man. You gotta connect in some capacity. Larry says with a 2, keep making music. You got it. You got it. We have Mike's musical Rehab. Have you checked the new Halloween song?
Is that gonna compete with us?
Oh shit! If it is, did it just come? When did it come out?
The Sabaton one was on the 6th. Today's the 20th. It's been long
Halloween.
enough.
Oh yeah, so we're way out of. That was the 6th, and we're out. I mean, we'll still semi compete with it. It just won't be his first week.
Halloween new single. Halloween is awesome. I love Halloween.
I'm actually curious.
I cannot find the new single. Where is it? What's the name of the new Halloween single, guys?
Well, says they won't compete with it. Yeah, they will. There in some capacity will. We have a 10 from Sherry's or Cherise. Shout out. No message.
Oh, 1 week ago.
Okay, so they'll be on their second week.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Tokyo. It's called.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be competing with them. Larry with a 5 says graduated with a BA in music therapy. Music is powerful. Jam to Norfrica first thing this morning. Let's go. The singing Tiggs with a 5 says love sappy songs like She's Gone, dance favorite.
I hate that song. I hate it.
But I understand
him.
not wanting to sing those songs. It makes me feel like a pansy singing those songs.
It's like it's the syncopy nature of that song combined with the super cartoony high notes just make it unbearable.
So, we got Golem's PYG, or with the PYG 10,000, whatever that is. My internet's being gay. Bye. Well, see you later. We need backwards featuring Ryan Kirby track. It's funny, like we were so close to that actually happening. Like, I don't know how many times we were right around, because it was around the time that had to been. There was also a time that we were this close to touring with them, and it was a timing thing. Them and Phil Labonte's band, and All That Remains. Because we were all just releasing something at the same time, but it was like it just didn't work out. But yeah, me and Ryan, I mean, I'd be down for that. I mean, we were so close to doing it for probably 5 times. Roblox head Leslie Hedlund with a 2 says Beardo's R&B classics. Feelings for Dan Vasc is fire. Okay,
make it happen.
Check that out.
Rippa, I just had something cross my mind, and I went to Twitter or X to double check it. I think I saw Phil Labonte. Is that how you pronounce it? Right?
Yeah.
Labonte. On the DVD of that guttural singing coach,
Melissa Cross.
He's in that DVD.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's
I knew I had seen him somewhere outside of
he's been fucking
his
around.
stuff.
Yeah, he's been around forever, man. And he's so good, man.
Wow, that's an old school DVD. It's
Yeah.
like everybody who was learning how to scream.
Yeah,
watched that
she if you need to learn how to
DVD.
scream, man, you can't go wrong with Melissa Cross, man.
Melissa Cross.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Shout
he
out
was there.
Roblox head Leslie Helen. Thanks for that. We have a 10 from Philip Johnson. Single purchased. If y'all start a metal podcast, you gotta get Razor Fist on. I love to hear you.
We're gonna fight about Manowar.
Yeah, we probably would because
He doesn't like the orchestral stuff, the orchestral phase of Manowar.
You can't really go wrong with Manowar. But yeah,
That's just like old Manowar phases.
Yeah, but yeah,
he's awesome. I
yeah,
like
we could do
Razorfist.
that. I mean, I've obviously had him on the show. I don't know how many times. So when I was doing For Canon's Sake. So yeah, it would be a natural thing.
Yeah.
We have Deborah Perkins with a 50. What with a 50? Excuse me. Says, "Oh my God, Eric and Dan, what an amazing masterpiece." Deborah, what's up? Good to see you again. I adore you both. Thank you so much, Deborah.
Thank you
that
so
50
much, Deborah.
ain't cheap. So thank you all so much. That's not cheap at all. Appreciate that, Deborah Perkins. 50, that is not cheap. It's a lot of money, by the way, to come through. That's a lot. That's a lot of singles you could also buy with $50. You buy 50 singles with that. Thank you so much, Deborah. No, seriously, appreciate you so much.
You can give 50 homeless people a
single
glorious death copy.
Yes, you could. And Jeanette with a 4 months says mission accomplished. One hell of a journey. Power again, Deborah. Shout out to you. Love to see you in the chat as always. We have Kathy with a 5 says, "You guys killed it, amazing."
Thank you.
Thank you. Golden Wolf with a 5 says, "Hell, guys, love the new song. It's on my workout playlist." Also,
nice.
Thank you, Eric, for reposting that fan art I did on X. Of course, I'm always retweet y'all stuff if you share it with me. So yeah, appreciate that, Golden Wolf. Thank you. Said it made my day. Hey, I appreciate the fan art. I love seeing fan art. Kathy says, "We'd love to hear live." Hey, I'll be down to perform it live.
That'll be something.
Yeah,
that would be something.
I have a blast. Definitely on that last part. Like I'm in the crowd in the middle of that song for sure. After that bridge, the breakdown. So, Sharice with a 20 says, "Dan, you have inspired me to shut up and do something. Thanks for that. Your rendition of Oh Holy Night is the best out there, Eric. Wow, thanks for sharing your hard work with us." Oh, thank you. You are amazing. Same for you, Dan. Thanks. Appreciate that, Sharice.
Thank you so much.
Second dono. So thank you so much. Glad you.
Yeah, that shut up and do something is an old video that I was complaining about Murphy's Law, that how I thought it was for losers.
Yeah.
I'm creating a new law. It's the dance law. It's shut up and do something.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Brandon with a 61 month says, "If you decide to do an EP, will you do another final?" Oh yeah, if we did it, I would 100% be down for another final.
Yeah,
for
but
EP.
it wouldn't make, and it would also make sense to make CDs for.
Oh yeah, that one would have actual CDs. Yeah,
but
you have
it wouldn't
to do
make
that.
sense to make a CD for just a single, right?
Yeah.
That would be too much space wasted.
For sure. But yeah, for sure for EP, that's automatic.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Hughes with a 2 says, "Been listening for almost 2 hours. Very fun. Let's go. Let's go.
That's awesome, man."
Shake from Hunger Team with a 10 and no message. Jeremy Stafford, 19 months, has been waiting for this as Ice on 1. Let's go. Hell yeah.
I remember speculation since those days. And people were already mentioning before we announced anything.
That's true.
People saw the 2 singers.
Yep.
They were already like, "Oh, is that Dan and Eric?"
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. We have Edna May Olden with a 20 says, "It is cool. It is so cool that this song is so cohesive with you guys doing this continent to continent." Yes, that's the cool things you can do in the digital age. It says not in the same recording studio, not even in the same country, but those are the cool things that you can do now.
Yeah, I'm very happy how we managed to make it look like we were in the same room with very similar setups.
Yep.
It's like we're pretty much in the same place.
Yeah, worked perfectly.
I'm very satisfied with that.
Same. Edna May, shout out. Thank you so much. Emblazon with a 5 says, love the song. Next Norfrica song, bring Jeff Castellucci. Okay.
Castellucci.
Yeah, that is very Italian. Lady Gravemaster with a 5 says, you both will probably enjoy Deus Metallicus. Says, I recommend their covers of To God Be to Glory and Onward Christian Soldiers. Well done, gents. While I'm thinking about it,
Christian soldiers. That one.
While I'm thinking about it, a lot of people when I shared this on Twitter, they didn't know they exist. If you are like into like the deathcore, like the heavy shit, and you want a Christian band, there's a band called Impending Doom. They've been around forever. They are really good, but they fly under the radar. So you're not a
nice.
Impending Doom is really good.
Another one is Mortification.
Oh yeah,
Scrolls to make it love.
Yeah. And Jeanette with a Czar 199 says, all I want to do is blast this at full volume, but can't because I'm visiting staunch Africaner family. Torture. Says, love this song. The earworm is real. Let's go. Says, you two have made a song that will go all the way. Hey, chart to tell. We will see.
Let's see.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's go. We have Sky with a 5 says, love both of you. Dan, would you consider collab with Tommy and Eric together? Love the new song.
Yeah, I've talked to Tommy about it, and it's just a matter of making it happening. Eric, you mean Eric Gronwall? We have done a collaboration already.
Go.
Both this Eric and Eric Gronwall.
Yeah. Donna with a 20 says, before you tell me I could have spent this 20 on a single download. I'm just saying, man. I gave them away as you were. All right, Kurt. Well, hey, you did it. That's fine. I'll take it. Appreciate that. Oh, seriously, Donna. Thank you. Appreciate everybody buying the single.
A homeless person with a copy of this single, you're gonna be saving his life. He's gonna listen to that and say,
yeah, he's gonna listen to it and be like, I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna get my shit together, man.
Exactly. I'm gonna get my shit together. I'm gonna change my life, and I'm gonna make something of myself. And it all started with you gifting a copy of a copy of Glorious Death to that homeless person.
That's the way to do it. Shout out. Appreciate that, Donna. Thank you so much for the repeated 20. So appreciate that. And then we have Francis with $100 Australian. That is a lot of money.
A lot of singles.
That's a lot of singles, man. You might have could have put us on a chart.
A lot of homeless people changing their lives.
That is true. Francis, this is what you do. You go to this site here and you get 100 of these. That's what you do. And you hand them out to the homeless
100
people.
homeless people becoming scientists.
Yes.
Professors, presidents.
All of the things.
Astronauts.
You name it. Hey, that's not cheap. Says, my hair still looks like I got struck by lightning. That's all can do it to you. Dan and Eric, your skills are out of this world. I'm going to buy better speakers. Hey, it is such a good song. You appreciate it more. You get some good quality headphones.
Oh yeah.
You'll start to hear the intricacies.
Absolutely. You're gonna hear stuff that because we mastered the song for you to be able to hear it on good equipment. It doesn't mean it doesn't work in bad equipment. A good master will also work in cheap equipment, but this is premium. If you upgrade your equipment, you're gonna hear premium quality on that master.
Yep. So go for it. Francis, seriously, that is not cheap. So I appreciate this. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a crazy big day for this single. So thank you, Francis, and thank you for that 100. That is not cheap.
A lot of money.
At all. That's a lot of money, man. Francis, thank you again. Seriously. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. The Singing Tigs with a 5 said, y'all heard Gershon the Chronicles doing a metal cover of They'll Set Fire to the Rain on America's Got Talent. Have I seen that? Gear Shiz has a classic 80s metal voice. Wow, I feel like I've seen that. I don't know. That's really cool though.
YouTubers definitely made it a trend to cover non-metal songs with metal. That's something that doesn't happen a lot with other styles. I might be mistaken.
No, you don't see like other styles turn into other. It's usually you go from that to like metal for sure. Johnny's with the files that bought a digital copy of the Rippaverse site and Amazon so far with other platforms is on again. Got to stream late. That you can buy. It's on all major digital platforms, but the other one that you can buy it from is Amazon. No, it should be said Amazon. iTunes. You can buy if you have that. Shit.
Amazon also has a streaming service.
Yes, they have
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music
doesn't count if you stream it from there.
Yes, you gotta buy it.
Make the purchase for the single. Yeah,
you actually have to buy it.
That's how it counts. If you want to help us chart.
Yep. So there you go. So make sure you actually buy it. And okay, that is it. There's 112 freaking super chats that we just got through. That's crazy. Like, thank y'all so much. Y'all are crazy.
Beardo would be proud.
Yes, he would. No, seriously, guys, thank y'all so much. Keep buying the single. We'll do some other streams. I'll get with Dan, see what his schedule like in the coming days. We'll do some more streams. Nerd out because I had this one again. I can have fun. This is my element. I can't really do this with pretty much anybody else in our space other than Dan. Or we can just sit here and talk music and metal and shit all day. It's not like, I mean, you mentioned Razor Fist. He might be the other guy that I can do that with, but everybody else, we got to talk fucking whatever's going on and fucking, I don't know, movies and shit. But yeah, this is fun. I had an absolute blast with this stream. So thanks to all of y'all. Please keep buying it. Rippaverse.com/Norfrica. You can grab it directly from us. Then you go buy it from Amazon. And then if you got an iPhone, go buy it from iTunes. There's 3 sales right there. So go grab that. It's only $1. So you might as well just get it. Help us chart. Remember, you get it by Thursday is the important thing because the billboard is from Friday to Thursday. So make sure that you go ahead and grab that. We have a chance to chart. We'll be doing all of our promo. Actually, promo hasn't got started. I got some promo stuff that I'm actually doing after this stream to really get things going. But yeah, we're really just getting started. It's day one. So thanks to all of y'all so much.
What is the minimum position on the Billboard chart?
25.
To get the plaque.
Oh, to get the plaque, 1. You gotta get number 1, the plaque. All right, so
it's only number 1.
Yeah, it's number 1. But number 1 is doable.
Tough.
It's doable though.
But it's doable.
It's not easy, but it is very that specific chart. In the chat, if you're late, there's the hard rock. You have the basic hard rock. That's where you're gonna get all like the corporate metal stuff. But there's the hard rock singles, digital single song sales that only applies to actual sales. So if you sell like a vinyl, if you sell a digital copy, that's what that counts towards. Okay, that is very doable. That is very doable on that type of chart. Charts that are like sales oriented are very, very doable. That don't include like the streams and the radio and all that other stuff. It's just raw sales. That's how we got on like the Heat Seeker album. Though we were on the hard rock album, hard rock Billboard chart backwards, that is. We were highest on the alternative new artists, we were number 2 Heat Seeker album, and that's because those are just sales, right? So be sure to grab those because you'll be surprised. And yeah, we see in that back corner, we want to get a plaque on Dan's Billboard plaque right there for Norfrica. And
just above the whalebone, number 1 plaque.
Number 1 plaque on Billboard. We can do that. Just get the single. You'll be helping us out. And like I said, it's very achievable to get on that.
Insane, Dan, man. Imagine that.
That'd be sick, dude. I fucking feel like I fucking made it. We gotta do it. Now I want to do it. I want to do it. So we'll be pushing for you guys to buy a single. Please keep doing that. Because
it's gonna heal the world. It's gonna prevent World War III.
Yeah, y'all. We have all of this shit going on with fucking Iran resolved. If you just bought the single, that's all you have to do. Ed Jeanette says doing more streams together possible. Oh, we're for sure gonna do it. Definitely now that we're basically intertwined. Norfrica is Eric and Dan. Okay, I want people to know that, right? That's what that is. Like, you're not gonna get one without the other, right? So that's it. So if you want more Norfrica, you got to get both of us.
Yeah.
It happens. That works. So yes, there absolutely is a possibility now that this project is officially launched.
Yeah. We will always have collaborators, like, because there's stuff that it's not in our realm.
Right.
It's not in our, like, for example, the guitars. Garrett J. Peters.
Yeah, of course.
Those guitars.
Yeah.
I compose the arrangements and deliver to him for him to record, because while I compose it, I cannot execute them.
Right.
But Garrett J. Peters is amazing.
Shout out.
He's very eye to eye with me on regards to metal arrangements and stuff. So it fitted very nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main lineup, it's us two.
Yeah. So you got to get us both. So
yeah.
Russell Williams said, if you hit a #1 on Billboard charts, I sense that bragging rights will make a return. Yeah. Good luck topping that. Good luck for anybody topping that.
Imagine showing up to a TNME and say, Jeremy, what do you have there, Jeremy? You have some dumb comic book? Let me show you what I have.
Yeah. There's no time for that. Good luck.
You have you have some doll, some G.I. Joe figure. Nice. That's nice. That's cute.
So yeah, but we will do more streams. We're going to do some more streams this upcoming week, so don't worry about that. There's lots of opportunity there. We're going to be pushing the single really hard. So, but also again, this really cement now that you guys know that this is what we had been working on. The project's out in the ether. You know, the voices of the two characters are myself and Dan. So we're intertwined either way it goes. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to do other streams. But like I said, I don't get to do this. Neither I know Dan doesn't either. Because we all stream with the same people for the most part. And yeah, we're talking about, not to knock that. I'm not saying talking video games and all that stuff isn't fun.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, like not, but I'm just saying, like, talking like what we were talking, like there's not a whole lot of people that we can do that with in our space. So
sometimes we start in Tuesday night main event, people are like,
yeah, he's had like what's going on. So, yeah, exactly. Joanna with a 2 says, great song. You and Danny do more songs. I don't disagree. You can help that happen by gifting a digital single to a homeless person by going to rippaverse.com/Norfrica and just buying it. And that'll help us chart. And if we chart, we will guarantee you in the future at some point a EP. So and that's what you guys really want. So yeah. Kathy again. What's up with a 20? Says, okay, purchased. Let's go. Nice. Now I expect to see you guys tour in the US. Okay. Like I said, I'm down. Like
that's the way.
Look, you demand it by buying the singles. As you buy the singles, you keep talking about this. Other people cover it and get interested in this, and this project turns into something crazy, which it has the potential to do that. And yeah, we're basically forced into doing a tour, doing a run, because people like Norfrica that much, and I'm down. I'm showing out every fucking show, that we do that. So I'd be 1000% down to do like a Norfrica run.
Imagine if I finally get a United States visa because of
Norfrica. Because of Norfrica. Yeah. Because of Norfrica.
That's crazy.
That will be what did it. Because of Norfrica, man. Yeah. That'd be so sick. But no, like I'm down. I know Dan's down, but yeah, help us do it. Let this thing chart. Like I said, we'll keep you guys posted. Dan, I appreciate you taking some time. This went way long. I know
that was awesome.
Bullshitting. It went way longer than I anticipated that this would go. My wife didn't fucking made a run and came back and everything. And like since we've been streaming. So thank you so much to y'all. Dan and I, you'll see us. Obviously, we got Tuesday night's main event and everything. We're gonna do some other streams, talking shop. We'll prepare all that. I'm gonna get on the promo tour because we're still day one right now. So I'm gonna get to doing some promotional stuff, sharing everything out.
Shout out to all our YouTube friends helping.
Thank you.
I know Jeremy mentioned it several times on his show today. A lot of people sharing it. Epic Mike, Jay. I saw a bunch of people sharing it.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in our
space.
Much,
guys. Yeah.
Sharing. I know obviously Friday Night Tight showed it love, and then you guys they sent y'all over. Some of y'all were over there. And y'all came from over there. So yeah, this is perfect, man. So thank you all so much. There's gonna be some more streams that we are going to do, talking everything Norfrica. So be on the lookout for that.
Invite us to streams.
Yeah, we'll love to talk about. Yeah, buy us both, and we'll love to talk about Norfrica. So yeah, hit us up, please hit us up. Again, Dan, appreciate you. I'm gonna end with the performance music video. And before we like get completely out of there, for you guys that I'm pretty sure everybody here has already seen it, but go purchase it. You click the link in the description right now. You can go purchase the single from our secondary digital store, but you can purchase it there. We'll keep you in contact on when the next stream is going to be. Thank you so much for hollering at us. But we got to get out of here. And like I said, I'm going to end this with the performance music video. So we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.
Turn of the tide, I can see an innate desire. Sword in hand, warrior side by side, I can feel it, it burns like fire. Worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side, but that's what this mandates. Be it might, and unlikely allegiance, we will fight because that's the best defense. No turning back for is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Glorious death. Our goal, our mission is clear as we ride against a dark empire. By my soul.